morning, everybody. Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to my channel. Guess what? It didn't redirect. It didn't even redirect for me. Oh well. StreamYard was doing some freaky deaky thing at the end where it didn't want me to leave the studio. When I tried to switch to the new stream, I don't know what StreamYard has done now. YouTube, though, is the one that redirects, so I don't know. And my laptop is acting. Oh, it did it for you, Wiggles. Cool. My laptop is acting funky. My tech is all dying right before Christmas. Like I got the past two Christmases I got new tech. And so I guess all the old tech wants to die. Well, actually, the microphone died. That was new tech 2 years ago. The monitor was new tech last year. And it's still, maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'm not going to say. I have been waiting for this trial. I know nothing. Well, not nothing. I know that his wife disappeared. He finally pled guilty to disposal of a body or something like that, but not to killing her. That's like all I know. And it's in Massachusetts, the state I can't say. Massachusetts, and Proctor's involved, I think. Brian told the police that Anna had flown to D.C. for a work emergency after an initial arrest on January 8th for misleading investigators regarding his whereabouts the day of the disappearance. He was charged on January 18th with red rum and disinterring a body without authority. He pled not guilty. Prosecutors allege that he beat her to death and dismembered and disposed of her body. Disinterring a body without authority. Wouldn't that be like grave robbing? So wouldn't that have to be a body that was officially buried in a graveyard? They haven't even found, I'm confused. Oh, that's going to be my first merch item if I ever have merch. I'm confused. I'm always confused. Hey, Judy. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Wiggles. I know. Like, I double checked yesterday to see if there was a placeholder because I didn't think this was going to happen. This is why I'm so excited today. Now, if I click on the stream and nothing happens, oh, I haven't even pulled it up yet. I hope it's actually happening. Oh, it's happening. Oh, Law and Crime is calling it Massachusetts mom murder trial. Who is this? Disinter, dig up something has been buried, especially a corpse, discover something that is, well, I know what the word means, Judy, but I thought for you to be legally charged with that, it had to be like a body in a graveyard that's been buried. They've never found her body. So how do they know that he dug it up if they've never found the body?
Your Honor, in the matter of the Commonwealth versus Brian Walshe, Norfolk Superior Court Criminal Indictment Number 2023-0091. The matter is called for trial. Defendants present in court with his attorney Larry Tipton and Kelly Porges. Commonwealth.
No, hear ye.
Connor, Ann Yaz, and Tracy Cusick.
We don't get a hear ye.
Commonwealth, kindly identify yourselves for the court and the record.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good morning, Your Honor. Greg Connor for the Commonwealth.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ann Yaz for the Commonwealth.
Morning, Your Honor. Tracy Cusick for the Commonwealth.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kelly Porges on behalf of Mr. Brian Walsh.
Good morning, Your Honor. Larry Tipton for Mr. Walsh.
Welcome, everyone. Please be seated. Let me start by a few things that I had on my radar for this morning, and then a few things that you put on my radar last night. Wrapping up our statistics with regard to panelists, I just want to put on the record, on the last day of jury impaneling, we saw 45 jurors. 30 of those answered yes to question 5, 2 were seated. 1 person answered yes to question 8, 0 people were seated. And I think if my math is accurate, and I'm sure one of you will correct me if I'm not, at the end of the
That
jury
makes
impanelment,
sense.
the
I
Commonwealth
think that's
exercised
what
4
they're going
peremptories,
with.
defense
That's why he
exercised
pled
8
guilty to
peremptories.
the other.
There are a few motions that have been circulating in the last few hours, and I want to first address with the parties. It doesn't have a paper number, but has a title of Defendant's Motion in Limine to exclude the evidence of the hole in the ceiling at the Walsh residence and the remainder of that, to which the Commonwealth opposed. Do either party wish to be heard on that in oral argument?
No, Your Honor.
Why is there a
Your
hole
Honor,
in
with
it?
respect to the ceiling, I rest on the papers. However, with the Richard Walker email, through an investigation, nothing ties this email ruse to Mr. Walsh. We have indicated that we have no intention on crossing on this, on making this an issue in the case. So it really is just a red herring that could be potentially inflammatory. It has no relevance. As the court knows, he pled to misleading, and this is not consciousness of guilt. This doesn't go to malice because nothing is tied to him. So I don't think it should be submitted to the jury. Thank you.
Your Honor, the email was being put in to show the thoroughness of the investigation. The police received it as one of the many tips, and they actually asked the defendant about the name in one of the interviews. And so that is why the Commonwealth was seeking to enter the email, so it would show why the police were asking about this particular name.
That's something
Defense's
Shadow's
motion
never
is
done.
denied. The evidence will be admitted. It is relevant to the issues, even with regard to the issue of Richard Walker. The Commonwealth gets to prove its case and prove that it was thorough, and its case, I'll permit it in my discretion. There's another motion that you raised by email.
The sirens are back.
Yesterday or
Is
last
this
night.
the same courthouse? Gotta be.
With regard to the emails of Mr. Fasto. And I asked this morning, Madam Clerk, to ask you, what paper are you talking about? Because I know it was a long break, but I don't remember reviewing Mr. Fasto's emails since the time I reviewed them in connection with the grand jury. And that was in connection with the summer motions that we had. I got back, and oh, it's paper number 200. It's not paper number 200. Paper number 200 has to do with defendant's own text messages. So as a preliminary matter, we can handle it down the line unless somebody feels that they are going to have a problem with that in terms of your opening statements. You know what I mean? All right. So is there a problem with that, not resolving that for the Commonwealth?
I was going to reference a image that was sent to Mr. Fastow in my opening.
Is that the photo of Anna Walsh and her son?
Yes. And the basis for that, Your Honor, is that Mr. Mutlu acknowledges in an interview that it was sent to Mr. Fastow that evening. And so that was where the good faith basis was to mention it. So I was intending to mention it. Also, the defendant acknowledged a text of
Yes,
that
this
photo.
is Massachusetts.
All right. Is there a problem with that aspect of it?
Oh, I need to watch.
Mr. Mutlu
Ernest
saying
Saves
someone told
Christmas.
him that this photo was sent is
hearsay.
No, Mr.
However-
Mutlu sent the photo to Mr.
No, what they're saying is that Anna Walsh sent the photo to Mr. Fasto in this series of text exchanges. So it's contained in the text messages that we're objecting to.
All right, what paper number is it?
Your Honor, this was the government's motion in lim to admit text messages.
That's
So
of the defendant. That's a different issue entirely.
I don't know, Your Honor. They had moved to admit text messages. I don't know the paper number. It's just the.
It's the defendant's text messages that they moved to admit.
No, there were text messages. There's also, maybe it's the nature of the relationship. Is it that one you're thinking of, Ms. Cusick?
Somebody give me a paper number so I can get on the same page with you.
Your Honor, it's paper 200 is the Commonwealth's motion to admit text messages. The last
Guys,
paragraph deals with.
This is the
Mr.
day of the
Fasto's
trial.
message.
Why don't you have it together? Y'all know this is my #1 pet peeve. Lawyers that aren't ready.
To which I wrote, in my effort to be ever transparent, this is going back to motion in limine number 13, paper number 197. That's not right.
Your Honor, I believe I have it as paper number 199, which is Commonwealth's motion to eliminate 13.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. The Commonwealth, I assume, intends to offer, or this testimony would be offered through Mr. Fasto. When is he testifying?
This week, Your Honor, I think maybe Thursday.
All right, then we deal with it later on down the line. And
Got my own.
Yeah, let's
Yes,
get
sir.
started.
now, the other motion that was filed, same question. And that has to do with the Commonwealth's
Marty.
motion to eliminate to exclude the defendant from making any reference of his plea of guilty to the disinterment and to the lying to the police. Is that impacted by anyone's, is that going to, not ruling on that, is that going to impact anyone's opening?
It will not affect the Commonwealth's opening. We're looking to avoid it.
They should do that for every
It will not?
person that killed their wife or their kids.
All right, so I just want to be as transparent and as clear as I can be on
That
the
would be
record.
amazing.
So I have not ruled on that, which means failing to rule it at this point, which I'm happy to rule on it. I don't think the law is going to get any clearer because there is no law on this. But that means that's going to put limitations on the defense in terms of what you can open on, right?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right, I just want to make sure that we're all speaking the same language.
Judge, just so there's no surprise, there is a statement in my opening that said he lied to police. That doesn't trigger this issue.
He can say that.
He did lie to police.
He can.
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize.
Well, to the extent that you need to hear it out of my mouth, he can say that. He can say, I misled the police. He can say I lied to the police. All right. Are there any more preliminary matters? We have 16 jurors in the House. My intention with regard to them is to inquire of them first thing now, after I greet them, and ensure myself by asking the 3 questions that I go through. It's actually 4 in this case because I added the social media, no news media. I'll presume for the sake of argument right now that all of them are going to have been obedient to that. If they aren't, of course, we'll deal with it and we'll address it.
Aren't they going to tell you, though?
And we'll go from
Are
there.
they really?
If we get, we still have 16.
I like
in the
her
box,
already.
We'll swear them in. And then we'll be off and running.
She's
Any
not going to
questions
take
about
any
that?
No.
bull crap off anybody.
Come up.
Your Honor, no question about that. There are some housekeeping matters. Counsel wish to have 4 witnesses recognized. I have them here. And in addition, we had a series of stipulations that we wanted to present to the court.
Okay?
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. And forgive me.
I'm not interrupting.
because I
I'm
was
not
focused on the
interrupting
Richard
you,
Walker
am I?
email. I didn't hear your judgment on the hole in the ceiling.
On the what?
The hole in the ceiling.
The entirety of that motion is denied.
Okay. So with that, I could have the officers that council wishes to recognize be brought in, and we could have them recognized.
I do like her hair, but that's not why I like her.
I'd like to bring up one issue.
Before this?
Doesn't matter, just, I'll wait till they're recognized and then I'll bring it up.
All right, good morning, everyone. Just identify yourself for the record. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So you're all in here because the defense wants you to be recognized, which means that you're under court order. You need to make yourself available for this trial whenever you're told, and the lawyers will be back in contact with you when you are actually needed as the case goes along. Do you understand? Yes, sir. And you agree to come back? Yes, sir. All right, thank you very much.
Who are they? Being recognized for what?
Your Honor, I'm handing up to the clerk 3 series of stipulations. One is concerning the Richard Walker email, now that it's going to be admissible. We believe that stipulation could be read to the jury. There is also a stipulation concerning the chain of custody of the known DNA samples, which would negate the need to call certain witnesses from the FBI. And then finally, there's stipulations. This third one does not need to be read to the jury, but it's just for the record and can be marked as for ID, concerning financial records. And so we were going to have that. And then also, I believe we have a stipulation concerning the federal conviction and federal charges.
All right. So I'll have these all marked
Yes,
for
federal
identification at this
charges?
point. I don't usually send stipulations
I
to the
thought
jury. I
I
just
heard-
consider it
wait.
like any other evidence, and by sending it in as a special something.
I thought I heard his
to
name.
me
Was
to
he there?
properly
Did
highlight
I
that
miss it?
evidence. They've got to remember what the stipulations are.
Holy
That's
crap.
If they ask me back what the stipulations were, I typically answer that question.
Yes,
But
Your
I don't send them in. So I'll have them available for this trial whenever
Oh
you're
my
told. And
God!
lawyers will be back in contact with you when you are actually needed as the case goes along. Do you understand? Yes, sir. And you agree to come back? Yes, sir. All right, thank you very much.
Oh my God. I thought I heard his name. I thought I was just hearing things. Because I knew
Your Honor,
where we
I'm
were.
handing
You know,
up
I
to the
thought,
clerk, 3
wow.
series of stipulations.
Yeah,
One
Dane
is
Colin
concerning the
Proctor.
Richard
That's
Walker
for damn
email, now
sure.
that it's going to be admissible. We believe that stipulation could be read to the jury. There is also a stipulation concerning the chain of custody of the known DNA samples, which would negate the need to call certain witnesses from the FBI. And then finally, there's stipulations. This third one does not need to be read to the jury, but it's just for the record and can be marked as for ID, concerning financial records. And so we were going to have that. And then also, I believe we have a stipulation concerning the federal conviction and federal charges.
All right. So I'll have these all marked for identification at this point. I don't usually send stipulations to the jury. I just consider it like any other evidence, and by sending it in as a special something, it seems to me to improperly highlight that evidence. They've got to remember what the stipulations are. That said, if they ask me back what the stipulations were, I typically answer that question.
Yes,
but I don't send them in. So I'll have them marked individually for identification. Where are we right now with regard to that?
You think he'll show up?
D for dog is the stipulation regarding Richard Walker. E will be the
doesn't-
stipulation regarding the DNA
He doesn't honor
samples
subpoenas.
of Anna Walsh and Brian Walsh. F will be the stipulation regarding authentication of records. And G will be the stipulation regarding the federal prosecution of the defendant. And when we get to the point in the case that you wish me to read those stipulations, just cue me by ID number that this is the time you want them to be read.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right?
That's it for the Commonwealth for housekeeping.
All right. Attorney Tipton.
First, the preliminary instructions, we're asking that no consciousness of guilt preliminary instruction be given.
I don't have one in there. All I have is the elements of first-degree murder by premeditation and the normal, beyond a reasonable doubt, and presumption of innocence, all that stuff.
Okay.
But there's nothing about COG in there.
Okay. And secondly, our understanding was that the sentencing was going to occur today. Are we wrong about that?
I don't know that we set the day to take place, but I also don't think it's going to have bearing on the ruling on that other motion, if you're concerned about that.
I guess the next question is, does the court know when sentencing would be scheduled?
Well, we can talk about it. Nobody was pressing the issue, but now
Don't
maybe
talk
that's
about it
changed.
now.
I think when we took the plea last Tuesday, or maybe it was the Tuesday before, right? We had talked about giving the Commonwealth sufficient time to get a victim impact statement in. I haven't seen that. At some point, it sort of felt to me like maybe we just do it all together. If there's a conviction at the end, if not, I'll just
Yeah.
press them on the other two charges. But I don't have any,
Wait till the end. That's
beliefs
stupid.
about whether it needs to be done
Hey,
before or
Ada
after.
Kay.
So if either party wants me to do it sooner rather than later, put the other side on notice that the victim impact statements need to be to me by a certain date so that I consider them. And if there's anything beyond in writing that the defense wants me to consider, I'm happy to consider that too. So,
We'll talk to the Commonwealth.
all right, sounds good.
Why would they sentence him on what he pled guilty for now? When he might have to be sentenced on a murder conviction. Wait till after the trial. That's so stupid. Get through this first and then do it all at once. And if there's not a conviction, fine.
Indictment. Singular.
He's in custody, right? Oh, I forgot about that.
Thanks, Danny. Hear ye,
All I
hear ye, hear ye.
remembered
All
was
persons
the
having any due
there's
form of
my hear
justice
ye,
may
hear
come
ye,
near.
hear ye.
Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court, draw near, give your attendance and you shall be heard. Those in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in this honorable court, please be seated. Please turn off your cell phones.
Good morning, jurors. Morning. It's nice to see you all as a group for the first time. Jurors, I hope you all had a nice holiday break, and we're here to start the trial today. Before we go take any steps to further the trial, I want to go over with you and ask you each individually, as a group, but you're going to answer individually, whether you were able to comply with my orders that I placed on you when you were impaneled. So the way I do it is I'm going to ask you the question. There's 4 questions. And then I'm going to ask you to answer once verbally, yes or no. And then nod your head, yes or no, until you and I make eye contact. And I will scan first from the left rear to the right.
Is she gonna explain
Front,
this every time she
left
asks?
to the
I'm
right.
not.
And keep on nodding until you really know that I connected. Sometimes you think I connected and I didn't, and then I'll have a long pause. Sounds more complicated than this. It's really quite simple. Jurors, were you able to comply with my order that you not speak to anyone about this case? Were you able to comply with my order that you not do any research about this case? Were you able to comply with my order that you not go on social media or access any news media? And you all still have open minds? With those 4 questions all answered in the affirmative by each juror, we're ready to begin today's work.
Would you like the jurors sworn, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Members of the jury, if you could please stand and raise your right hands for me. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that you will well and truly try the issue between the Commonwealth and the defendant according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? Thank you all. You may be seated. Members of the jury, hearken to the indictments returned by the Norfolk County Grand Jury. Mr. Walsh, if you could stand, please. Norfolk Criminal Indictment Number 2023-0091 alleges that Brian Walsh, a Cohasset in the County of Norfolk, on or about January 1st, 2023, at Cohasset in the County of Norfolk, did assault and beat Anna Walsh with intent to murder her, and by such assault and beating did kill and murder said Anna Walsh in violation of Mass
I
General Law,
agree.
Chapter 265, Section 1. Members of the jury, to this indictment, the defendant has pleaded that he is not guilty, and he has placed himself
Yeah.
before his country,
Wednesday.
which country you are, for trial. If he is guilty, you
I
shall
missed
say
you
so
guys
and
too,
no
but I
more.
needed the
If he is
break.
not guilty, you will say so and no more.
And
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. You may
everything
be seated.
sucked since the last time I saw
Thank
you.
you, Madam Clerk.
I know, right?
So jurors, as I told you in the impanelment period, you will be responsible for deciding this case. Please pay careful attention to the evidence that you'll see and hear during this trial. When the evidence is complete, I will explain the legal rules that you must apply to decide this case. You will then meet in private to discuss and consider the evidence, apply those rules, and work together to reach a unanimous verdict. Before we start the trial itself, I'm giving you some initial instructions, also known as
We don't. We went out to eat. You guys
I
want
will
to skip this
explain the
part and go right
indictment
to
that
opening
Madam
statements?
Clerk just read aloud and
Ah!
describe what will happen during
Hey,
the trial.
Carissa! You
I
found
will
me!
explain my role as the judge, the lawyer's important role, and your role as jurors. I will discuss some of the legal overruled. That means that anything that I do or say, a charge is proved beyond a 2 hours long, between the hours of 2
Is Brian Walsh?
Oh, dude, I can tell right now he's not going to use his mic. I'm so glad you're here, Carissa!
jurors, I know that you will try this case according to the oath that you took this morning. In that oath, you promised you would well and truly try the issues between the Commonwealth and the defendant according to the evidence and the law. If you follow that oath, approach this case with an open mind, and make your decisions fairly and without prejudice or bias or sympathy for anyone, then you will arrive at a just and fair verdict. It's now time for the opening statements. And you will find that there are customs in the law, many customs in the law that dictate how the case plays out. And the first custom I'll alert you to is that the Commonwealth opens the case first. ADA Connor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, may it please the court?
It does?
On January 4th, 2023, Teresa Marchese returned to work after New Year's holiday. She works at Tishman Speyer, and she is the Director of Human Capital Management. That is to say that she's the Director of Human Resources. And Tishman Speyer is a real estate management company, but it's a global real estate management company. It has buildings all over the world. And this office that Ms. Marchese works in is in Washington, D.C. When she returned to her office in Washington, D.C. that morning, she was alerted that one of her coworkers' husbands was trying to find her coworker. The coworker was Anna Walshe, and her husband is Brian Walshe. Teresa Marchese knew Anna Walshe because she hired her. She hired her in February 2022 to work at the Washington, D.C. office of Tishman Speyer and to manage some of those buildings in Washington, D.C. She also knew that Anna Walshe commuted from Cohasset to Washington to work at Tishman Speyer, and that her husband, Brian, and her 3 children were still in Cohasset at this time. She also knew where Anna Walshe lived in Washington, D.C. Anna Walshe had bought a townhouse right near where Teresa Marchese lives in Washington. So when she heard that Brian Walshe was looking for Anna, she got concerned. And she spoke to her boss, Jeff Chubb. And the two of them went into a conference room and called Brian Walshe. Brian was calm, and he said that on January 1st, Anna left their Cohasset home for a work emergency and had to fly back to Washington, D.C. And he hasn't spoken to her since then. This is the longest they've ever gone without speaking. So, Teresa Marchese went and drove to Anna Walshe's townhouse. She took another employee with her, and on the way there, she had another conversation with Brian Walshe. Brian was calm, and he gave her the combination to the garage so Ms. Marchese could get into the building. Ms. Marchese got there. She was able to look in the windows. Nothing was broken. Nothing was out of order. She got into the garage, and she found some cardboard boxes that had yet to be unpacked, some car seats, no car, no Anna Walshe. Now the door from the garage to the home, that was locked, so she couldn't get inside. So, Ms. Marchese called Mr. Walshe back again, and she told him that she was going to loop into this conversation Tishman Speyer's global head of security, who also works in Washington, D.C. His name is Hugh Dunleavy. He's a retired Secret Service agent. Mr. Walshe is calm. Mr. Dunleavy is looped into this conversation on the phone, and Mr. Walsh's demeanor changes. He becomes very upset. Mr. Dunleavy calms him down, asks him a series of questions, and Mr. Walshe repeats. Anna left the home in Cohasset on January 1st to come to Washington, D.C. for a work emergency. Mr. Dunleavy follows up. Have you called the police? What is the local police department in your town? You live in Cohasset. You need to call the police. The call ends. Mr. Dunleavy works with the Washington police and helps facilitate them getting into the home in Washington, D.C., and Anna is not there. He also calls the Cohasset police just before noon on January 4th. And he reports Anna missing. Hugh Dunleavy from Washington, D.C. calls the Cohasset police, and that is the first time Anna Walshe has been reported missing to the police. And it was done just before noon on January 4th, and no one has seen her since January 1st. Over the next few weeks, it'll be the honor of Ms. Cusick, Ms. Yaz, and myself to represent the Commonwealth. And in that time, we will prove the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the premeditated murder of his wife, Anna Walshe. And we're going to do that by presenting evidence. And evidence will come to you, as Her Honor pointed out, in two different forms. One is kind of tangible. You'll see photos of the family home in Cohasset at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway. You'll see videos from different stores. You'll see Anna Walsh's banking records. You will also see objects, like a Tyvek suit, like a hatchet, like a hacksaw.
Or what kind of suit?
Now, in addition to those objects, you will hear from witnesses. Witnesses like Teresa Marchese and Hugh Dunleavy, who I just mentioned. You'll also hear from a group of witnesses that are Anna Walsh's friends and colleagues. They will tell you that Anna was 39 years old in January 2003. She was married to the defendant. She had 3 children. Will tell you that she was a Serbian immigrant, that she came to this country and began working in the hospitality industry by working in hotels in Washington and Massachusetts, and that she transitioned to real estate. She got the opportunity to work for Jem Mutlu, who had his own real estate company. She actually wound up running that company for him. That was until February 2022, where she got what Brian Walsh would refer to as a dream job, where she got to work for Kitchen Spire. And she would make more money than she had ever made before in her career. She had purchased a townhouse in Washington, D.C., and she was expecting to have her family come with. However,
Is that like a
Brian and the
hazmat
children
suit?
had stayed
What's
in
Tyvek?
Massachusetts. And the reason is that Brian had previously pled guilty to a count of fraud in the Boston Federal District Courthouse. But he hadn't been sentenced yet. Now, he was accused of owing over $400,000 of restitution. At this point in time, Anna was the breadwinner for the family, and she had moved to D.C. She was still commuting back and forth, but looking to have the family join her in D.C. And Brian, too.
That's what I thought.
However, when she bought the townhouse, she did this with the aid of a person by a real estate agent
They
by the name
wrap
of William
houses
Fastow.
with it?
She was introduced to Mr. Fastow from her former boss, Jem Mutlu. Mr. Fastow will testify. And he will tell you that they became friends, and that friendship became romantic. And that carried on into November of 2022, when Anna needed to go visit her mother, who was sick back in Belgrade, Serbia. Anna flew to Dublin, Ireland, the weekend of Thanksgiving, and Mr. Fastow joined her for that weekend. She then flew and visited her sick mother in Serbia, and then would return back to the United States. Mr. Fastow, after Dublin, would go back to Washington, D.C. But Anna missed Thanksgiving with Brian and the children. And then on Christmas Eve that same year, Anna went out to dinner with Mr. Fastow. They went out to dinner in Annapolis with another couple. And she stayed the night.
Oh,
And she was
okay.
supposed to get a flight out on Christmas Day. But she couldn't get a flight. So she had to drive up from Washington, D.C. to Cohasset. And she missed Christmas Eve and most of Christmas Day with Brian. She would fly back to Washington,
Were they
D.C.,
separated?
and on December 29th, she would go to dinner with one of her friends who will testify before you. And that friend will say that she was uncharacteristically tired and emotional. You'll also hear from a series of witnesses that dealt with Anna Walshe right before New Year's. She returned back to Cohasset on December 30th, and she was going to stay with the family until January 3rd. You'll hear how she went to a bar class, B-A-R-R-E. It's an intensive ballet class. You'll hear from the instructor who will say that she did exceedingly well in that class. A person who was with her in a nail salon will testify. She got her nails done on New Year's Eve. And Mr. Mutlu will testify. He went over to the Walshe family residence on New Year's Eve for dinner. 3 adults were there. It was Mr. Mutlu, Brian, and Anna. He got there around 8:30. He brought some snacks for the kids. Actually got to play with the oldest child. And he spent the night talking to his friends. He'd characterize them as jovial. They shared champagne. They weren't drunk. They were enjoying the new year. They actually signed the champagne box. And you'll see that, where they were
That's
looking
a
forward to the new year.
big commute.
Brian cooked. Brian was attentive. Brian also said to Mr. Mutlu that night that he had lost his phone, it had been misplaced, but he had felt free as a result of it. Mr. Mutlu left that home on New Year's Day at 1:30 a.m. And there was no mention of a work emergency in Washington, D.C. that would require Anna to fly out or leave the family home at 6 or 7 a.m. that day. Now on January 4th, after Hugh Dunleavy had called the Cohasset Police Department, the Cohasset Police Department dispatched Officer Greg Lawrence to go speak to Mr. Walshe at his home. Officer Lawrence went. He was met outside by Brian Walshe. Brian Walshe informed Officer Lawrence that Anna had left on January 1st, had taken a Uber or Lyft to Logan Airport to fly out to Washington, D.C. for a work emergency. Gave her a phone number for Anna Walshe, described her as 5'2", that she was 39 years old, approximately 115 pounds. He hadn't heard her. Officer Lawrence went back to the Cohasset Police Department, worked with other Cohasset police officers, trying to find any connection to Uber or Lyft or local taxi cabs. Cohasset police would then begin the process of pinging Anna's phone. You're going to get to see the records from that, but essentially the process involves the cell phone carrier, in this case Verizon, sending a signal onto the phone to try and
Oh, we're gonna have to celebrate again, y'all.
And the Verizon records will show that the last time that phone that belonged to Anna Walshe interacted with the network was shortly after 3 a.m. on January 2nd. And when it did so, it was in the area of the Walshe home. That same day, Cohasset Police also tasked Detective Schmidt with investigating this case. He and Officer Lawrence would go back to the Walshe family residence at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway and interview Brian Walshe. And he recorded it. You'll get to hear the recording. And Brian will talk about how Anna was commuting back and forth from Cohasset to Washington for work, how there were some issues with his federal case, and how Mr. Mutlu had come over for dinner that night on New Year's Eve, and how Anna had to leave between 6 and 7 on January 1st. He also, in that interview, described what Anna was wearing when she left the home. Blue-gray hunter boots, a black jacket, and an Hermes watch. So Sergeant Smith will testify before you, and he will tell you that he worked on this missing person investigation and called in additional resources to help. On the 5th, he had his own department do a search of the woods near the family home. On the 6th, he called in a task force made of several different police departments to do further searching of the woods in and around the Walsh family home. Contacted the state police to use their resources. He also got the opportunity to speak to Mr. Walsh on January 5th, January 7th, and January 8th. And when he did those interviews, he was accompanied by detectives from the state police. And those interviews were recorded. And you'll get to hear those interviews. And Mr. Walsh, during those interviews, will explain that he and Anna were happily married.
I was just
He
wondering,
had no
'cause that's a
knowledge of any
big
extramarital
commute.
affair. That Anna had her dream job, that it was taking care of the family, and conversely, he didn't take a salary this year out of his company that was a consulting company. He told the police that he owed over $400,000 in restitution on his federal matter. That
Good
this
Lord.
case was causing stress on his marriage. That he might have to go to jail. He said that they were very happy and that the biggest problem was that they were apart. Brian also told the police that Anna's job had caused her to miss Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with the family. And that Anna traveling to visit her sick mom caused her to miss Thanksgiving with the family. And that he did not want to have an argument with Anna about missing another holiday on January 1st. He had a discussion with her about Christmas Day. He was concerned that by him looking around trying to find her, that she embarrassed her. So he tells the police, I didn't want to have an argument. So I understood she was going to come back, and she left for that emergency at work. You'll also have access to financial records that will show that Anna Walsh had approximately $200,000 in accounts at Fidelity, and that there was over $1 million in life insurance in Anna Walsh, and that Brian Walsh was the beneficiary of those policies.
There's
In
motive.
addition to the Cohasset police, the Massachusetts State Police also worked with them on trying to find Anna. You're going to hear from two troopers in particular, Trooper Nicholas Marino and Trooper Connor Keith. They are digital forensic specialists. They have special training in examining computers, tablets, phones, and in this matter, they had the opportunity to examine a MacBook, iPads, and cell phones that were at the Walsh house. And they will explain that on Christmas Day, when Anna had missed Christmas Eve and was, after spending the evening with Mr. Fastow, and was driving up from Washington, D.C., the cell phone that Brian Walsh was using looked up Mr. Fastow on the internet. And that on December 27th, a MacBook that used the Apple ID for Brian Walsh, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, researched best strategies to divorce for a man, best state to divorce for a man, Washington, D.C. divorce laws. On December 29th, Brian Walsh's cell phone was researching buildings that Anna Walsh managed for Tishman's Fire and emergencies she had handled for them in the past. Trooper Guarino will also explain to you the internet history of that MacBook that had Brian Walsh's Apple ID beginning on January 1st. At 4:54 a.m., the MacBook searched best way to dispose of a body, and then went to similar websites for more than an hour. At 6:24 a.m., same day, the same device searched how long for someone to missing to inherit. How long missing to be dead? Can you throw away body parts? Later on that morning, on January 1st at 9:33 a.m., the MacBook went to search, how long does DNA last? And then an article, is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? 30 minutes later, the MacBook researched disposal of a cell phone. At 10:28 a.m., the MacBook researched, I am the user of my wife's credit card. She is missing. And again, on January 1st, at 11:28 a.m., it searched, best way to dispose of body parts after a murder. Trooper Guarino will explain the
Well,
numerous websites and searches done by the MacBook in the morning and early afternoon on January 1st, and that these websites were about cleaning blood with ammonia, bleach, and hydrogen peroxide. Websites visited included those as whether it is better to throw away crime scene clothes or wash them. One site was entitled, You Want to Get Away with Murder? Use a special detergent. This type of activity on the MacBook continued into January 2nd, when it looked up, how long does Lowe's keep security footage? How to saw a body.
Well, they know what store he
How
went
to
to.
dismember a body. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Can you identify a body with broken teeth? The MacBook also visited websites for apartment complexes in Brockton and Chelsea. One in particular, Chatham West in Brockton. Brian Walsh told investigators that his phone, which was an iPhone 13 mini, had been misplaced and not
Thinking the
found
same
until
thing.
the afternoon of January 2nd, 2023. When investigators examined that phone, they learned that it had been connected to a power source. It had been unlocked 4 times by either using the face or the passcode. Investigators will also tell you that the location data from that phone showed that it remained in the Walsh residence until the afternoon of January 2nd, 2023. However, there was another phone in the Walsh residence, an iPhone SE, which belonged to one of the children. When investigators examined the location data from that phone, they found that on January 1st, the phone traveled to a Walgreens in Cohasset, then to a liquor store nearby the defendant's mother's home, an apartment complex in Swampscott, to a CVS in Danvers, to a Lowe's in Danvers, and to a Stop and Shop in Swampscott. You will see the surveillance video from those stores. You'll see the video from Walgreens, where a white man with dark hair using a credit card buys Band-Aids and antibiotics. You'll see on the surveillance video at the CVS in Danvers that a white man with dark hair, now wearing a mask, buys hydrogen peroxide using cash. You'll see the surveillance video from the Stop and Shop in Swampscott, where a white man then goes buys ammonia with cash. And you'll see the surveillance video from the Lowe's in Danvers, where a white man wearing a mask and dark hair buys
There are no words,
that
Wiggles.
cost more than $400 using cash, including a Tyvek suit and cutting instruments such as shears, snips, and a hacksaw. Investigators will explain how the cell phone location data from the iPhone SE shows that it went to a Home Goods in the morning of January 2nd, and that Brian's iPhone 13 mini went to a Home Depot in Rockland in the afternoon of January 2nd. You will see the surveillance videos from those stores. You'll see a white man with dark hair at Home Goods buying scented candles and area rugs. And you'll see a white man with dark hair at the Home Depot buying more cleaning supplies. 20 pounds of baking soda, mop, buckets, and a hatchet. The investigators will also explain to you that Brian Walsh's cell phone on January 3rd was located near apartment complexes in Brockton. You'll see the surveillance videos from some of those apartment complexes, including one of Chatham West. You'll see someone going to the dumpster and then leaving. The investigators will also tell you that on January 5th, Brian Walsh's cell phone was in the area of dumpsters and a trash compactor by his mother's apartment complex in Swampscott, and that this was before he was interviewed by Detective Schmidt later that night. On January 9th, the police went to those dumpsters, and they took that trash compactor and that dumpster to a facility in Peabody, where they searched the contents of both. And they found an Hermes watch, blue-gray hunter boots, a black coat, a COVID vaccination card with Anna Walsh's name on it, rugs, a Tyvek suit, a hammer, shears, snips, a hatchet, and a hacksaw. The police will tell you that these items were packaged and brought back to a laboratory, and they were brought there for examination. And how some of these items were examined for DNA. And the DNA was compared to samples they had from Anna and Ron. Scientists from the state DNA lab will identify DNA of Brian Walsh and Anna Walsh on the Tyvek suit. They will explain that Anna Walsh's DNA was found from items in the dumpster, including drugs, the hatchet, and the hacksaw. Jem Mutlu said goodbye to Anna Walsh about 1 o'clock, 1:30 a.m. on New Year's Day. When he left, she was home, she was alive, she was with her husband. No one has seen her since her husband said she left on January 1st. She has not accessed her finances, her email, her phone has made no calls, and no one has found her body. During this case, we ask two things. The first is that you keep an open mind. Do not rush to judgment, but instead, see how all the evidence fits together. Pay careful attention to the timing of certain events. And second, use your common sense. Don't leave it home. Bring it with you here as you make your examination of every piece of evidence. And at the end of this trial, we will speak to you one more time. And it is at that time we will ask that you find the defendant guilty of murdering his wife with deliberate premeditation. Thank you.
Thank you, 88 Connor. Just why don't you take a break and stand up, shake a leg. And when you're comfortable and have regained your focus, you may be seated. Now we'll hear from the defense for the opening statements. Attorney Tipton.
Thank you, Your Honor. Brian Walsh lied to the police. Lied to him on January 4th, lied to him on January 5th, lied to him on January 7th. Brian Walsh went to Lowe's and bought tools. Brian Walsh went to Home Depot and bought tools. Brian Walsh, beginning about 4:54 a.m., began a frantic and tragic search that you will hear about. You'll hear the evidence of that. You will hear evidence that those searches evolved from how best to dispose a body to even darker subject matter. As he wrestled with the fact that Anna Walshe was dead. That evidence that you will hear will be hard to understand, but it is true. On January 1st of 2023, Jim Mutlow left the family home of Brian and Anna Walshe sometime between 1 and 1:30 in the morning. Anna and Brian Walshe continued to celebrate the news. They went upstairs to the bedroom. About an hour later, you'll hear evidence that Mr. Walshe got up, went back downstairs to clean the kitchen. You'll see evidence that he looked at his email. You'll hear evidence that he then returned to the bedroom, intending nothing more than to crawl into bed with Anna Walshe, the woman he loved. When he entered the bedroom and began to get into the bed, he sensed something was wrong. You will hear evidence that it made no sense to him. But he nudged Anna, his wife. She didn't respond. He nudged her again, a little harder. She didn't respond. He nudged her now in a frantic and panic reaction to where she actually rolled off the bed. You'll hear evidence that now he is panicking and he doesn't understand what has happened and what is happening. It didn't make any sense to him. It didn't make sense that somebody that he had just been with and enjoyed New Year's Eve into New Year's Day would suddenly be dead. Not him. You will hear evidence in this case of sudden, unexplained death.
And you call
You will hear
911.
evidence that
That-
it is rape. You will hear evidence that it happens in young people and old people. You will hear evidence it happens in male and female. You will hear evidence it happens during the day and during the night, that it happens to trained athletes. You will hear evidence that it can be the result of both mechanical and or electrical problems within the body. You will hear evidence that it might be cardiovascular, pulmonary, neurological, or other reasons. You will hear evidence that it occurs in people who have never manifested a symptom that something might be wrong. And in fact, you will hear evidence that sometimes the first manifestation that something is or was wrong with someone is the sudden, unexplained death. That's the evidence you will hear in this. Sudden, unexplained death is known within the medical community and the forensic community. But it is to this day not well understood, and that is the evidence you will hear. And it is not well known to non-medical professionals. And you will hear evidence Brian Walshe never imagined somebody suddenly died. 1 hour he's with her, he cleans the kitchen, he comes back up, and she is dead. You will hear evidence in this case that Brian Walshe and Anna Walshe loved each other. Yes, there was stress in the marriage. Stress born out of a simple problem that took its toll. And that's the pending federal case that had begun in 2018 and was still going forward. And what happened was, over time, Anna Walsh got a job in D.C. with the support of Brian Walsh. It was a huge stepping stone in her career. It paid twice the salary. And they talked about it. And you will hear evidence that they had to make a decision. Brian could not leave Cohasset because of the pending federal case. So who would take care of the children? While Anna worked in D.C., Brian would. And he did. There was stress in commuting back and forth between D.C. and Cohasset. Brian Walsh experienced that stress too. And Anna Walsh and him talked. They talked about it on Christmas Day of 2022. And that's what the evidence will be. Yes, there was an affair. You will hear evidence of an affair. An affair does not make someone a bad person, does not make someone a bad mother. Make no mistake about that. But yes, there was an affair, not between Brian Walsh and anyone, but between Anna Walsh and William Faster. The evidence in this case will be that Anna Walsh did everything she could to hide that affair. That she did not tell her closest friends, her confidants, some of whom lived in D.C., the same person, Alyssa Kirby, that she spent December 29th with, drinking and talking about her life. She hid the affair. William Faster would tell me that he was unaware of any plans of Anna ever telling Brian about the affair. William Faster will testify that they behaved differently in public in D.C. to make sure there was no appearance of the affair. William Faster will testify that Anna Walsh told him she would be devastated if Brian ever learned about the affair. Brian Walsh didn't know about the affair. He did know. Anna Walsh had a crush on William Faster because she told him. And he did not react in a jealous way. And you will hear evidence that over the close to decade that these two people were in love, and all you have to do is look at the evidence and the photograph you'll see of Anna Walsh. And the evidence will establish she is a beautiful woman. And it was not unusual for her to comment to Brian. I had some man look at me today. I think he liked her. That didn't upset Brian, not over a period of 10 years. And when she told him that she had a crush on William Fastow, the man who had sold them the $1.3 million townhouse in D.C., it didn't upset Brian. He trusted her. In fact, you will hear evidence from Melissa Kirby that Anna Walsh told her, I wish he would be jealous. You will hear evidence that there was no financial issues or problems. Anna Walsh had just got that job in the early part of 2022 that paid close to $300,000 a year. They owned that townhouse in D.C. It was worth over $1 million. They owned whole life insurance policies on their sons in the amount of $1 million each. whole life that you will hear you can borrow against if you need cash. You will hear evidence that Brian Walsh's mother gifted them money, and actually you'll hear from the landlord of the home that they were living in at the time that Brian was living in, taking care of the 3 boys while Anna worked in D.C., that it was his mother who was paying the rent, because that's what grandmothers do. There was no financial problems here. They owned investment property in Massachusetts. The evidence in this case is that Brian Walsh loved Anna Walsh. You will hear that she spoke of him in glowing terms to William Faster. That she said, I want people to see the Brian that I know. You will hear how she talked about her relationship with Brian with Alyssa Curry. And notwithstanding the fact that Anna Walsh was having an affair, she described their relationship as open and honest. He believed their marriage was open and honest because he loved her. You will hear how she described Brian as her best friend to her friend Alyssa Curry. You will also see evidence of text messages that you may use to determine for yourself if there was love between these 2 individuals. The importance about those text messages that you'll see is simply that they're dated. The ones you'll see are dated beginning December 25th of 2022, 7 days before New Year's Day. 12:25, Anna Walsh and Brian Walsh are texting each other, and she is sending him 7 properties, listings, primarily out of Zillow, 7 listings of properties in the greater D.C. area, Bethesda, Annapolis. They're searching for future investment properties. You'll see that, and you'll hear evidence that then she comes up to celebrate Christmas with Brian and their 3 beautiful boys. You'll see on 12/27, now that she's back in D.C., these text messages between them. And they're talking about one of their properties. And they're talking about the fact that it, in fact, sold. So now they need to figure out what to do with the proceeds. You'll see on 12/28, text exchange between Brian Walsh and Anna Walsh. Now, she's back in D.C. She's not feeling well. She's telling Brian, I don't feel well, so I'm going to stay at home and work at home today in D.C. And they joke. And on the text, Brian says something like, well, I guess I'll have to get you a plunger. Anna responds, I'll tell you what. I'll buy the plunger. You buy me that Porsche. Why? Because Anna Walsh wanted a Porsche. And what you see on that text exchange, right after she says that, is you'll see postings that he sent to her of the Porsches he'd been shopping for the woman he loved. And you'll see in his MacBook that he was shopping for Porsches because she had asked for one. On 12/29, you'll see a text exchange between them where they're talking about a 3-story brownstone that she had found that maybe they'll buy for an investment. And you'll see the text references to how much it cost, the square footage it's up and below. You'll see text exchange between them where they're talking about possible renovations in the future. They are talking about the future. And this is on 12/29. And then on 12/30, Simple texts between them about her catching her flight from D.C. to get to Cohasset for New Year's. She texts them, "I've landed." And what you see in those text messages are she begins to send Brian pictures of her playing with the boys now that she's reunited with the 3 beautiful boys again. And then you see 7 pictures sent by Brian Walshe back to Anna, taken of her playing with the boys. And how do they sign off these texts? You'll see them. Brian says, "Love you." And Anna Walshe says, "Love you too." We've come full circle in this opening, and now we're back to New Year's Eve. Jim Mutlow, the family friend, is invited by Anna to come to the house to celebrate New Year's Eve. You'll hear evidence that he was thrilled. He was thrilled to be with 2 people he'd known for years, but he hadn't seen in some time. He knew their kids, 3 beautiful boys. He'll describe how when he drove up in the driveway, Anna Walshe ran down the driveway in her heels, no coat, on a cold winter day to hug him. And then what happened? They all went into the house. And what was occurring in the house? Brian was cooking New Year's. He was feeding them as they all talked for 4 to 5 hours. And what were they talking about? They were talking about the future. They were talking about investments. Anna Walshe told a story about how Brian had found a ring for her and the whole adventure of finding the ring and buying the ring. She talked about it in glowing terms when she talked about how Brian did that. Mr. Mutlow will describe that for the 4 or 5 hours that he was there, he saw no problems between them. Said that Brian was happy and Anna was happy. He described the atmosphere as jovial, festive. He described it as loving. As adults do for New Year's Eve, they celebrated with wine and champagne. You will have that box, or at least photographs of that champagne box, where they signed it. And what Anna signed on that box she wrote, "Let's make 2023 the best one yet." She went on to say, courage, love, perseverance, compassion, joy, and signed it, love. Nothing was more important to both Anna and Brian than those 3 beautiful boys. They had talked about the problem of the federal case. It was stressful. When you heard in the Commonwealth's opening the reference to a divorce search, please understand that the other evidence will be that that singular search occurred between conversations between Anna and Brian about the sale of their property. You'll see that that search occurred about 8:30 on 12/27. And why is that important? The evidence will show that the only time Anna Walshe talked about divorce with William Fastow, she talked about it in terms of Brian and I attempting to preserve the family assets. Why is that important? Because yes, there was $400,000 of restitution that was going to come due. And yes, Brian may have had to go to prison for some time. And what did that mean? It meant that there was going to have to be arrangements, not just to pay the money, which wasn't going to be a problem, but the boys had to move up to D.C. because Brian could no longer take care of them. And there would be all that added expense. And they went so far as to talk to Robin Howe, their nanny, their babysitter, and asked her if she would consider moving up. So there were expenses. So when you talk about preserving the family assets, you have to decide, how is it that I make sure, how is it, as Brian Walsh will tell you, how is it that I make sure that my wife and my 3 sons are financially secure if I have to go to prison for a day, for a week, for a month, or for years? That's what they were talking about. And in all of the other digital data that the Commonwealth has been poring over for 2 years, you will not hear evidence of any other conversation about divorce. And you won't hear it from William Fastow. In fact, William Fastow will tell you he had resigned himself to think Anna Walsh was never going to leave Brian, father of their children. Jim Mutlow left around 1:30. Brian Walsh and Anna Walsh went upstairs. He went back down to the kitchen about an hour later to clean it up. And then the impossible, the unimaginable happened. It didn't make sense to Brian Walsh. It was confusing. He never thought anybody would believe that Anna Walsh was alive 1 minute and dead the next. And all he could think about were those 3 boys. What would happen to their 3 boys now that Anna is no longer here? What will happen if they think he did something bad to Anna? Where will those 3 boys go? And so, he told the story. He told lies. He tried to hide so he could hang on to those boys. Brian Walsh never killed him. Brian Walsh never thought about killing him. He would never think about that. Brian Walsh is not guilty.
Jurors, once again, why don't you stand up, shake a leg? 15 minutes before the break, but it's been a long little stretch here, so I can either break you now or we can start the evidence. Does anybody, just by show of hands, need a bathroom break? Okay, hold on for 15. All right, we're going to take your break early, and we'll see you back in about 20 minutes.
All rise for the court, please. What is that? Front row.
Why am I muted? I'm just talking away and I'm muted.
Please be seated. Does anyone need to address anything with me?
No, Your Honor.
Anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll take about a 20-minute break, and Commonwealth, what's the lineup today?
It's going to be Sergeant Harrison Schmidt for the entirety of the day. The intention is to try and get through the audio interviews today, Your Honor.
And everything went well with the editing, so to speak, of the...
Yes, we've made all the edits that we encouraged and the ones that the court told us to make.
All right, and the defense is all set with that? Have you watched it yet, or?
Yes. We have.
All right. Let me know if you need me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Maybe, Judge.
Audio interviews? The divorce thing makes sense. But I don't think that has anything to do with the other searches on his computer. And what's the timeline on the searches? Was the divorce search back when the federal charges happened? And how close were the federal charges to when this happened? Like I said, I don't know anything about this case. I should say very, very little about this case. Um, if you find your spouse not breathing, you're supposed to call 911. Not only did he miss the lemon juice memo, he missed the call 911 memo. Dude, you don't know when she stopped breathing. You pick up a phone and call 911. Uh, oh no, it's a different color. So, if he did it, was it for the life insurance money? Or was he mad because she was having an affair? I don't know. Judy, how old are their kids?
You are unmuted.
Oh my God, we even have you are unmuted back.
Judge, could we come to sidebar?
Yes?
Judy is our Google whisperer. Oh, they're little. I don't know why I thought they were older. Hmm. Where are they now? No, where are they now? So State is saying that he was looking for Porsches for himself? I'm kind of thinking if he did it for the life insurance money, he did it to pay back the money he stole. Is that her mom? Did her mom travel all the way here for the trial?
Not yet. So I noticed during the opening statements that this
room, which.
All rise to the court, please.
Not yet. This room, which has terrible acoustics, is being made
Oh, God.
more intolerable, I would say, by the typing that's going on in the front row. So I'm going to ask, press is welcome here at all times. It sounds like you're taking a transcript of what's going on. That's fine. But I'm going to ask all three people in the front row to move it back.
Why? What happened? Yeah. He didn't do it, but he just disposed of the body. That's crazy.
And we'll see how it sounds in this next time. And I encourage the lawyers. I hear certain things, but I'm quite a distance from you. I found it disruptive to what I'm doing. And so I expect that you found it disruptive to what you're doing. And I want to make sure that you are clear-headed and can do your job. So if you find that that's not working, you let me know.
Oh, they're talking too loud.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
You can bring them in.
All rise to the court, please. Jurors entering.
Oh, those poor kids. Oh my God.
Court is back in session. You may be seated.
So, jurors, now we're going to start the evidence in the case. The Commonwealth may call its first witness.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
know
Your
how
Honor.
bad
First person to call off
Massachusetts
the call,
courtrooms
Harrison
are,
Schmidt.
might. Dang, I missed the name.
So do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you should give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Thank you, so you can be seated.
Step right in there. Slide this. Thank you.
And you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Harrison Schmidt, SCHMIDT.
And sir, I'm going to ask if you can keep that microphone a little bit closer to you so it will help amplify. Now, sir, where do you work?
Cohasset Police Department.
And what is your rank at the Cohasset Police Department?
Sergeant.
And how long have you been with the Cohasset Police Department?
Full-time since 2012.
And how long have you been a sergeant?
Since January 2023.
Before January of 2023, what was your rank within the police department?
Detective.
And how long have you been a detective?
Since 2014.
And what were your responsibilities in January of 2023?
General investigations.
In addition to doing general investigations as a detective, did you have additional responsibilities with the Cohasset Police Department?
Yes. The lead firearms instructor, taser instructor, certified to certify officers to become firearm instructors, use of force for the department, and active shooter.
Now, in addition to the Cohasset Police Department, do you work with any other law enforcement organizations?
Yes.
Which one, sir?
The Metropolitan Law Enforcement Council.
Can you tell us what that is?
It's MetroLEC. It's a consortium of police departments that come together with mutual aid to share resources and personnel to create specialized teams.
How many police departments are a member of MetroLEC?
About 50
And how long have you been a member of MetroLEC?
since 2015.
And what is your responsibilities within MetroLEC?
I'm on the SWAT team, and I'm the lead firearms instructor for the SWAT team.
And does MetroLEC have a search and rescue team?
They do.
Can you tell us about the SWAT team's interplay with search and rescue?
The Metro SAR team, search and rescue, if they need physical searchers, they will pull from the SWAT pool.
Now, as a result of working with MetroLEC and Cohasset Police Department, how many fatal investigations have you been involved in?
Dozens.
And how many missing person cases have you been involved in?
Between both, about a dozen.
And, sir, with your missing person cases, have you been able to recover each individual?
No.
And what are some of the reasons why not?
Medical issues, exposure to the elements, suicide.
Now, are you familiar with the investigation into the disappearance of Anna Walshe?
Yes.
How are you familiar with that investigation, sir?
I'm the lead investigator.
And when did you become involved in that investigation, sir?
January 4th, 2023.
And about what time on January 4th did you become involved?
I was notified on my way back from SWAT training by a supervisor that there was a missing persons investigation beginning in patrol. So I was requested to respond and assist.
And so about what time of day do you think that may have been?
I went to the police station about 4 o'clock p.m.
Now, sir, when you went to the police station, what did you do to begin your investigation?
I coordinated with the patrol officers that initially responded to investigate.
Yes.
I reviewed their reports. I conducted queries in law enforcement databases to get background information.
And after doing all of these activities, did you have the opportunity to do anything else to further your investigation that afternoon or evening?
Yes.
What did you do?
I went to Mr. Walsh's home and interviewed him.
Now, where is Mr. Walsh's home?
516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway.
And can you tell us about that street? First off, I take it's in Cohasset.
Yes.
And does that street go by any other designation?
CJC Highway or Route 3A.
And so, as it being Route 3A, is it a busy street or is it like kind of a smaller side street?
It is 2 lanes divided by a double yellow line, main thoroughfare through town.
And about what time did you go to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
About 6:30 p.m.
And who went with you?
Officer Lawrence.
And why did you bring Officer Lawrence?
He was the initial patrol responding officer.
And so that night when you got to the Walsh residence, can you tell us what happened when you arrived?
I was greeted by Mr. Walsh.
Okay. And when you were greeted by Mr. Walsh, who
Bye,
else was home at
Krista.
that time?
His 3 children.
And what were the children doing?
They were eating McDonald's.
And whereabouts?
In the kitchen, there's a kitchen island that they were seated at.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, the Commonwealth would seek to what's been marked as Exhibit 1, a photograph with the file number SLD 7068.
Any objection to that?
No objection.
Ms. Gilman?
Marked in a minute as Exhibit 1.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do we want to move them all in? Are there
There's no objection.
objection to this group? I just want to be as efficient as possible. Do you want to move them all in?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how many are there?
52, Your Honor?
Okay, and do you have an index of what their designation is, or can you get that to the court just so that we have a record of that?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll give that to the court at the lunch.
All right, so any objections? I know you've, and by the way, jurors, before a case starts, the parties work together collaboratively to see what evidence they can agree to and what they can't to limit the rulings. And they've agreed that these 52 photos are fair and accurate representations of what they report, and so the defense is agreeing that those 52 photos offered by the Commonwealth are now marked and admitted into evidence. They will be marked by the appropriate court staff as 1 through 52.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No in evidence. Thank you.
Now, sir, looking at Exhibit 1, can you tell us what we're looking at? Oh, well, you were going to have a tough time looking at the back. And if I could, sir, I'm going to ask that you could put that as close to the judge's bench as possible.
Sorry.
So it's not blocking any view.
Sure, sorry.
Thank you. Sir, can you see it?
Yes.
Excellent. What are we looking at?
This is the front of the residence at 516 CJC Highway.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Gilman, if we could have Exhibit 2, file number SLD 7067. What is this we're looking at, sir?
Still the front of the house, focusing on the right front corner.
And at that right front corner, are there any other entrances or egresses to the house?
Yes, there's a side door recessed on that little three-step porch.
When you went to the house that night, which door did you go to?
That door.
And perhaps now's a good time for me to ask you, can you tell me how this house is situated from the street at Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
It's set back a long driveway. In front is another house and a used auto car dealership. It's in a wooded area.
And that's what's around the house, is the wooded area?
Correct.
Ms. Gilman, could we have Exhibit 3, file number 7175? Sir, what part of the house was this?
This is the kitchen.
And when you got to the home that evening, where were the children?
In those island bar seats.
Now, you get to the house. What is it that you do with Mr. Walsh that evening?
We sat at the dining room table and conducted an interview.
And do you see Mr. Walsh here today?
I do.
Could you identify him for the court, please?
The gentleman seated over there, blue suit, white shirt.
Your Honor, if the record may reflect the witnesses identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
Now, sir, where did the conversation with Mr. Walsh take place?
The dining room.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 4, 7178? So, what is it that we're looking at here?
This is the dining room.
And where was Mr. Walsh when you had your conversation with him?
Seated in that front right corner towards the camera.
And where were you seated?
The far seat, the seat that has that black jacket on the back of it.
Where was Officer Lorenz?
On the window bench.
And where were the children while this interview took place?
They were in and out of the room.
And Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 5, 7177? Sir, what are we looking at here?
This is the area in between the dining room table and that kitchen island.
And Ms. Gilman, can we have the next exhibit, Exhibit 6, 7131? I'm sorry, 7124. My apologies. And sir, what is this again?
This is a closer view of that buffet table. in
And
the
then
dining
when
room.
you were there that night, what was in the house as far as pets?
A dog.
Ms. Gilman, can we have 7131, which I believe is Exhibit now 7? Sir, where is this in the home?
If you go in that side door, you're in a hallway. If you take a right, there's a sunken-in family room.
And is that dog the one that was home that night?
Yes, Hans.
Any difficulties with the dog that night when you were talking to Mr. Walsh?
No.
And where was the dog that night when you spoke with Mr. Walsh?
In that crate.
Your Honor, at this point in time, the
It's
Commonwealth
Chloe.
to
That's
play
where Chloe went.
of January 4th. I have not marked this as an exhibit yet, but I have it on an individual drive.
All right, subject to the objections that have been preserved. Any other objections?
No, Your
All right, so this will be, are you offering it?
I'm offering to have this marked as the exhibit, and
All
then
right.
Ms. Gilman will be able to play it.
It'll be marked and admitted now into evidence as Exhibit 53.
Okay, who forgot to hit the like button?
Now, Exhibit 53, you've had the opportunity to review that, correct?
Yes,
And does that fairly and accurately reflect the conversation you had with Mr. Walsh that night?
it does.
Thank you. At this point in time, Ms. Gilman, I'd ask if you could press play on Exhibit 53, the interview from January 4th.
Okay, the order is on. It is 1839 on Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. My name is Harrison Schmidt. I'm a detective with Cohasset Police. Present here is Officer Lawrence and Sir Brian. Could you state your name for me?
Yeah, Brian Wall,
Brian Walsh. Okay. Brian, what's your date of birth?
13175.
Okay. And we're at your home, 516 CJC Highway.
Yes, it's right now.
Perfect. So could Could you do me a favor? I know you've explained a lot of this today. Could you just do me a favor?
What?
Start at the beginning. So, I understand your wife, Anna, she travels a lot for work.
She's in DC for this great new job she got.
Okay.
And we're to follow shortly, but it's taking longer.
Awesome. So, starting, most recently, she was at work.
One second.
Yep.
That's okay. Can you please let me finish this and I'm gonna get you whatever you need, please? Yes. Okay,
One second. Do whatever. We're on your turf, so do whatever you need.
Thomas, you guys behave, thank you. All right, yes, go ahead.
So, most recently, so Anna, it's my understanding that Anna came home on, was it Friday?
Friday morning she arrived, yes.
Friday morning she came home,
Yes.
okay. And she flew from DC to.
Yes, I can
Okay.
show you she sent me that information.
Sure, I would love to.
You can look up, you can look through all of them, but that was the last one she sent me.
This is,
That's,
word text.
no, she texted me so I would know when she was
Okay.
coming in, I'd ask.
So this is your text,
Yeah, my text chain was on, so you can look, you can take a look at that, whatever you want to do with that.
all right, so it looks like on last Thursday at, 7:36 PM, there's a screenshot of the JetBlue app. And it's a travel itinerary. It's a flight B6254 dated December 30th from DCA, Terminal 2, gate C28 to Boston, Terminal C, gate C33. So it departs at 6:30 a.m. Arrives at Boston 7:57 a.m. And then do you mind if I just look at?
Please look at anything that's gonna help you, please look at anything. She sent me some, she had a day with Thomas, so she sent me some, videos of that, and then you'll get into the area where I start texting her, to me. And if you wanna look at it, there's probably a year's worth of text there, if any of that is supportive, please.
Sure. No, I'm not looking to pry, I'm just really.
I'm open, trust me, that's,
No, I appreciate it. So, Friday around 6:01 a.m., you text flight on time.
right.
She responds amongst other things, yes, boarding now. So, okay, Friday 7:59 a.m. landed. And then it looks like Friday 12:07 p.m. Photos of Anna and who's the oldest? Thomas.
Yeah.
6 years old, my man. More photos Friday evening. Did you take these photos?
I took that photo myself.
You took these and sent them to Anna?
She usually would just send them to herself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so
She'd take my phone and send them to herself,
okay,
the ones that she liked.
very good.
Okay, I know it's exciting for you guys.
So that was a series of 7 photos sent Friday at 6:33 p.m. And Anna sent this group of photos?
I believe so, yeah. So I took the photos, a lot of times I take the photos and she takes my phone and sends them to herself.
Okay. Monday, 2:33 p.m., a text from you to Anna. Monday, 7:18 p.m., another text. yesterday, sending a text, 6:39 a.m., continuing to 8:30 a.m.
Usually she'd be back in touch with me at this point.
Okay. What's Viber? Calling you in Viber now?
Viber is what her sister uses. That's how it's like a WhatsApp or something.
Oh, okay.
So Viber is from a long time ago. She would use that to communicate with Europe and stuff like that. So when her SIM card died last week, she called me on Viber. So I thought, call Viber.
Okay.
Sister uses it. So I tried every sort of situation I could to get in touch
Okay.
before blowing the whistle or ringing the bell or whatever.
Sure. Did the SIM card issue ever get resolved?
I believe so. Her phone was working when she came here.
Okay. It's my understanding that it's a company phone?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So
And it's on Verizon, if you know?
no, so we're on Verizon. I don't know what the company is on, but I know that she was part of our family plan, and then she just ported over.
She brought the number over to their system?
Well, she took the phone over.
Okay.
So like that was canceled and moved over.
Okay.
But I think she took the number as well because we didn't change numbers.
Right, okay. So she took the family plan number
And the phone.
to work, and then work to start paying for it?
Yeah, basically,
Okay,
yeah.
excellent.
I guess they call it porting it over.
Important, yep. When one carrier picks up the other carrier.
Yeah, but I think they don't use Verizon.
Okay.
T-Mobile maybe.
Okay. Okay, so she flies in, I see the text around 7 a.m. How does she get from the airport to home?
Yeah,
Here?
she always Uber or Lyft. That's-
Uber or Lyft,
Yeah,
okay.
and Uber was one of the things here.
Okay. And then, so she gets dropped off here?
She, usually they drop her off further down because no one can find the place, so,
Okay.
but that's pretty much it.
Sure. So,
That's why I was in contact, when she's arriving, there's more contact than when she's going to DC, normally off pretty quick. So, yeah,
Work, focus
right,
on
so
work,
if she,
right.
so if it had just been reversed, it would have been a totally different situation, if I had heard from her, I would have known what's going on now.
Sure.
She's supposed to be here, so.
sure. Okay, so she comes home Friday morning.
Yes.
Do you guys do anything together, or what are you doing? What,
Yeah, so,
Run me through the weekend if you don't mind.
yeah, with pleasure. I had some, when she was running late, so I took, William and Brian to Kindercare, that's where the daycare is where we picked them up from.
Yep.
And Thomas was off, so I said, would you like to have a day with Thomas? I was gonna go, okay, Thomas. I just was gonna do a few, errands that I've already scheduled for. And then she was having a good time, and then I came back, and then we spent, rest of the day with, the evening with the kids, and then we hung out. And
Okay.
then, she was a bit tired when she came, she wasn't feeling well. Okay, guys, okay. And, so Saturday was December 31st. She went to work out in the morning, and,
What's the gym?
yeah, it's bar method in here.
Bar method?
Yeah.
Okay.
She went to Glossy Nails to have her nails done for the new year.
Is that also in Hingham?
I believe so, yes.
Going back to Friday, do you guys just hang in the house? Or did
Yes,
you,
that's it,
you didn't
yeah.
go,
No, we didn't
dinner
go.
or lunch or anything?
No, we were just here for the house.
So she was here, you ran some errands?
Yeah.
And then you just hung out in the house?
Yeah, then with the kids, doing stuff.
Alright, so then she hits, bar method in Hingham for the gym in the morning,
Yes.
Saturday?
Yes.
And then Glossy Nails?
Yes, because that was the last time I used my phone to say, they're okay.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I just decided to get my nails done. I was like, okay, great. Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh. And then she said, then she came over and she said, hey, I'm gonna take the kids, I'll give you a break. I'm gonna take the kids to a place in Canton, the Wonderland over there. It's an indoor play. Okay. So this is what, and then my son took my phone up to his room. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna give you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Thomas, can you make movie? Can you organize movies for your brothers? Thank you so much. This guy's mesmerized by you. What happened was, I was like, oh, that would be great, so I get ready, because we're making dinner for her former boss, Jem.
Okay.
She hadn't seen him face to face for a while, so I said, I got some time alone to prepare dinner, get everything together, and she took the Jem. Yeah. A lot of people call him Jim. He's been on the phone with me 5 times today as well. So he came over, and then we had
Dinner here?
yeah, we had dinner here. Yeah, we had dinner here. We celebrated the New Year, and then signed the bottles. She signed 23 being the best year ever, and then I'm working on it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. Okay. Okay. See, that's how it happens. At that time, I didn't have access to my phone. Okay. So, sorry, he does that a lot. I apologize. He's not.
The kids had the phone, right?
Yeah. So one
They do
was
sound
excited
cute.
one, took it up to his room. I didn't know it was there, but I knew it was going to turn up. We have a lot of worry that it's going to be thrown out into that. So, he had thrown out my wife's phone apparently a while ago. That's the age of the kids. They have a tendency to throw stuff away. So then she's been on the phone a lot, or texting with work, and she mentioned with Jem that she was worried about work and things like that.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. She was scheduled to leave Tuesday morning early. And then she said that there was an emergency at work, one of the buildings, and that she had to leave early in the morning. Sunday morning. And I was like, okay, normally I would have been like, that's ridiculous, but she worked up until 7 p.m. on December 24th in another building in DC. Okay. So I thought, all right, this is, we're going to be together soon enough as a family. It's fine, when we make this decision together. So,
Do you know what kind of issue arose?
She didn't explain it to me,
Some kind of
but there was one of the buildings had a bunch of leaks, another building the FBI raided at one point, another building there was a disgruntled tenant, and so she was dealing with all of that. She's the regional manager there, so I didn't know because I didn't want, I was like, all right, well, whatever has to be done. Then she said, hey, I'm going to have time off for Martin Luther King Day. I can be here for 4, maybe 5 days. And I was like, well, that's great. That's great news. And then, she only brings her bag. Her carry bag is normally a Louis Vuitton bag. Okay. And she didn't bring, she just brings a little bit of stuff. She's got a bunch of stuff all over this place. Or she just goes and buys it. And then, what happened? Then she woke me up around 6 and said she was going. She came down, I guess Thomas heard her and came down, and she said, I have to go. And he said, I love you very much. And she said, I love you very much. And then he said that she left, he got in a taxi, but I don't think he saw it because it was further down. But if you want to talk to him, but he said it's a taxi, and I was like, can you describe the car? He goes, well, I really didn't see it, Dad. So I was like, okay. So he was coming down to get, I think,
Maybe Anna said taxi.
maybe she's my driver, but I know that she was not driving. There's no way she was driving a vehicle. There's like zero possibility of that.
Okay. When was she originally scheduled to fly back?
Well, it was Tuesday at probably 8:30 or 8 or the early flight that she takes. What was I going to say? I never got the confirmation for that. Okay. But Joe, she usually just sends me her arrival because that's the most important for us once she's with the kids and everything and scheduling. Right. So.
Okay. Does she particularly travel on JetBlue?
Yeah, she got a JetBlue credit card. Okay. That gave her 80,000 points, and she doesn't like getting new credit cards, but she was like, well, we're doing this a lot. So she had gotten that. I had no access to that. She just got it, but she also started to use it more because she needed to spend a certain amount of money to get the points. So that changed our whole dynamic over the last month.
Yep, that makes sense. So she's been flying JetBlue lately. Is it a particular airport that she's going to as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's JetBlue or American Airlines. American Airlines is second.
Okay.
Way too many details.
Not yet, yeah, that's a focus.
Yeah,
One thing,
gotcha.
yeah.
So JetBlue number 1, American Airlines number 2. That's all I know. I don't think she ever took anything else. And someone said maybe she took a connecting flight. She never took a connecting flight. Even once in the summer where they had the thunderstorms and she spent 8 hours at the airport. She didn't even conceal my well, I just go get stuck somewhere. It's not DC or Boston, so it's no good. So I don't think that happened at all. I can't imagine that. And then it was always DCA and it was always Logan. It was never, she never went to national or anything like that.
Okay. So what, you heard this from William as to the whole taxi mention?
Thomas, this is my
I'm sorry,
6-year-old, yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah, William doesn't have it.
Yeah, well, that was time.
Yeah, William's story would be much more fantastical.
So, why do you think Thomas was up?
He gets up early,
Okay.
and he's always watching. I let him sleep with his iPad, so he wakes up and starts doing that. And then I guess, anytime he hears action downstairs, like during when we were having the dinner and celebrating, he came down to say hello to Jem. So anytime he hears something, he comes down. So he must have heard his mother, and he was like, "Oh, great, I'm awake," so he came down.
Okay.
Because when he was on the couch, I came down and said, "I'm sorry, mommy, mommy had to leave early."
Yep.
And he's like, "I already know that, Daddy." I said, "Goodbye to her."
Okay.
So,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah. Because I was like, okay, because he was on the couch earlier than normal but he had been off the whole week, so he had a lot of rest. So
Okay. So going back to New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So it's you, Anna,
And
the
Jem.
boys, and Jem.
yeah, well, the boys were all, we put them to bed. Jem didn't get here till 8.
Okay.
And Anna took
They're all
them.
in bed.
Yeah, Anna took them to that indoor play. So totally.
Is it Wonderland?
I call it Wonderland. It's probably indoor play Canton. It's in Canton. It's an indoor play. I don't have the exact name. Anna was on top of that.
Okay. So it's you, Jem, and Anna.
Anna, and then
doing the dinner.
Yeah, then Thomas came
Okay.
and hung out, and we heard it was going, and then finally went to bed.
Okay. So how did the night progress? How late did Jem stay over?
Yeah, Jem stayed till almost 1 or so. Like after midnight at our age with kids, we're like, okay, good, we did it. That's like it's past our bedtime. When you're younger, you're like, hey, what's next?
I was in bed at 10:30.
Yeah, right. There you go. So, and that's when during that time, Anna was dealing with her phone a lot, and she'd gotten a message from Bella, who I've spoken to today, who was like, hey, you didn't see me before you left, and so he was upset. And then she was seeming, I don't know, like she seemed like the last couple of weeks, she seemed like under pressure at her job. And she mentioned, even Jem spoke about it today, there were a lot of things she didn't like doing or she's not good at. So that seemed to be on her mind. She spoke to me a few days before saying she wanted to see a psychiatrist. And I was like, yeah, we're apart. It's been difficult for all of us. I've seen a therapist, like I told you today, the last 35 years. So anything that would support you is fine. And then, but I mean, I always make fun of her as my super sturdy woman. So, it seems like she was invincible. And so that was going on, and then she said that she had to go. After Jem left, she said she had to go.
Okay.
And I was like...
So maybe around 1:30?
Yeah, maybe before, like, after 1:30.
Okay.
And then, because she was like, we gotta go to bed, and I was like, what's this? She's like, Brian, I really have to go back. And that's when she told me, and I was like, that seems odd, but I get what's going on. She was supposed to be here the whole week.
Right.
But she didn't get it until Friday because she was just too much work that she was trying to keep up with. So the schedule has been, thank you. Thank you. But the schedule has been like that for the past few months, like where she's been having to cut back on family time. And it's been difficult for all of us, definitely.
Sure. When exactly how many months ago did she start the job, or when did the whole new arrangement?
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been here for 9 months almost. We were only supposed to be here for a few months, and then things took longer. Hello, hi. Okay, thank you. Okay. And then, at first it was supposed to be in Boston, the job.
Yeah.
And she worked at the Boston property. And then that wasn't working out, and then she moved to DC, and then I was like, all right, well, we'll do this. It shouldn't take long, and then, you know, things progressed, so that was, not the best.
Okay. I can imagine that's gotta be tough.
Yeah. But, you know, the only problems we had in our marriage were that we weren't spending time together. That was like, I mean, during the pandemic, a lot of people got divorced. We enjoyed family
You
time.
loved it.
Yeah, everybody loves it, yeah.
Sure. Okay, so what's the time frame? So, Jen leaves between 1 and 1:30?
No, Jim leaves like 1, like, let's say 12:50, 1 o'clock. Because I remember looking at the clock, it was close to 1.
Okay.
And then Anna and I were talking, and then I went to the bathroom, and she said, I have to, let's go to bed. And I said, sure. And then I was like, let me clean up. And that's when she said that she had to go. So I would have to go tomorrow.
Okay.
And she'd made mention that she might have to leave early.
Yep.
Earlier on Saturday. But you know, then she confirmed it. But she always was like, hey, I'm going to be there early. I'm going to stay longer. And then she's like, I can't do it. So I think maybe I was putting a lot of pressure on her for more family time, and she was having a hard time speaking up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. All right, so you think by 1:30 you both were upstairs and going to bed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We're both asleep at 1:30.
Okay, and then she was to catch a early flight.
Early flight. So she only got, this is why she's always been tired. She wasn't feeling well on Friday to begin with, and she was very ill the week before, I want to say. Because I got sick too. The kids got sick, then I got sick, and she came, everyone got sick.
Boys run around.
Yeah, so everyone's sick a lot. So, but I want to say on on the 27th, she worked from home. She was so sick, which is very rare.
Okay.
So, but she was feeling better, but I noticed a difference there. And then she probably got 2.5 or 3 hours of sleep.
Okay.
And then she gets up and you hear her like in the bathroom getting ready.
Yep.
And then it must have been 6. I didn't see the clock, but it was dark outside still. So.
Okay.
And that's when she came down. And then she does the final, like cleans up and stuff like that. You know.
Okay. Did you sleep through that whole morning routine?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I used to get up, and she was like, "You're gonna be ruined. The boys are gonna get up." So I was like, "You're right." But she comes and kisses me.
Okay. And then, have you heard any other communication or seen any other, does she have social media?
Yes, she has a bunch of social media. People have already been looking into it.
Yep.
I guess her iMessenger comes up on my phone for some reason. I don't know. So people have been sending messages, and I think they're for me, but they're for Anna. And her Instagram, I have some access to, but I don't do any social media really, so it's her domain. But everyone is called saying that they thought that they saw some action on the Facebook, Jen and Adela, and I said it must be me. Comes through, and I look at it because normally I don't, but now I'm looking at everything that comes in.
Yeah.
But there have been I don't think there have been any new posts because I've asked everyone who does it
To keep
Why do you have her messenger on your phone?
She's on Instagram, Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook.
I don't know of any other platforms.
All right, so Sunday morning when she leaves, you haven't heard anything?
No.
Okay.
But just to be clear, I didn't have the phone, and last week it was
Trying to see who's
24th,
messaging
she
her?
had that, work at Mazda
Spy
building.
on her?
So I didn't hear, we spoke in the morning, but I didn't hear from her all day, and then she was supposed to be here on a flight. And she missed that flight on the 25th.
Okay.
And she drove up.
Okay.
At that point, that's when I freaked out because she was coming here, so I'm like, well, where is she? I hadn't heard from her.
Right.
Super weird. And that's when I said, you're missing, and I'm gonna kind of call Sally, her sister.
This is the 24th.
The 25th, I'm sorry, 25th, yeah.
So
Christmas Day,
Day.
because she worked all night, New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
which I was not happy about, but I understand. She was supposed to be here early on the 25th, she wasn't here, and she hadn't sent me her flight info.
Okay.
That's one of the few times. So then I started to really get nervous, and I called Sally and Alyssa, and I called Jim, but I didn't say anything to Jim. And then I called my mother, and I was gonna file this person's report right there. So I was like,
Yep.
and then she called and said, I'm driving up. I was at the airport. My flight was canceled. I was busy. I couldn't get in touch with you.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So this time around, it was a bit different. She's going to DC now, and I didn't have the phone, so I just emailed her saying, I hope everything's okay, and all that's fine.
So, where was your phone on Sunday?
So Saturday, 11 a.m., I guess William took it and put it up in his bed. It was under, Thomas found it under his pillow on Monday at that 2:30 time when I got in touch with her.
Okay.
But I emailed her twice before that, but I was like, you know what, it's fine. I don't want to, every time my wife needs 5 minutes. So, and then I started getting nervous, and then on Tuesday, I started to call around, and I remember her telling me, hey, don't call work, don't embarrass me at work, Brian. And I was like, sure. So I called Sally and everyone, and then I was like, and then this morning, that's when I was like, I have to, and
We're going on another day.
yeah. So now it's Wednesday, today's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I lost, and then this morning, that's when I started calling everyone,
Okay.
and then the tissue supply people got back to me very quickly.
Yep.
I left a message at their off-site sales. I said, can you please say Brian Walsh called? I called another building that we didn't pick up, and I was going to call her boss, Jeff Chod. I didn't have his number, but I was looking for it.
Yeah.
And then it was Graham that called me and said, is everything okay? And I said, I don't know. She had work. And he said, I didn't see her yesterday.
Okay.
And that's when things kind of moved a lot quicker.
Okay. All right. Very good. That all sounds reasonable. Has she ever forgotten her phone or left her phone here before?
She's never left her phone here. I mean, she's pretty good at it. It has happened.
Yes.
It has happened, but I don't think she's ever left her phone here.
Okay. Does she ever turn the phone off or put it on vibrate or anything like that, or does she always keep the ringer on?
No, she definitely turns it on. In the evening we have to. So.
Is she on call at times where she would always keep her phone on, or is she okay to just shut it off at night?
She would turn on the side. She never turns the phone off though.
Okay.
So the phone is almost always on. I mean, a lot of times she's running out of battery.
That would be my next question. Is she one of the types that's always looking for phone chargers?
Yeah, we have also the kids are destroying them all the time, and so here at the house, she's always looking for juice from her phone.
Okay. Does anything else come to mind that we should be aware of?
I mean, I talked to my wife. Even though that we've been doing this for a while, and we haven't had that. I talk to her a lot, and even if she can't talk, she sends me a text saying, "I'll call you right back" or something. I mean, it's very rare. It's one or two times that I didn't hear from her, and then I freaked out, and then she's like, "You need to take it easy. I mean, it's too much pressure, Brian." I said, "Sure, of course, I understand."
Right.
And now this time, I feel like I was not high pressure enough. I should have done something more. So my mother is always calling, like she's like, "What's going on?" She wants to hire private investigators and stuff like that. So I was like, "Coming." So the detectives class are coming. Global, the gentleman at Tissue Spire is head of global security. So
Okay.
I think we have a good shot here.
Yeah. Do you have shared or access to her Uber or Lyft accounts? Or
No.
does she rent her own?
Yeah, I don't use any of that stuff. Yeah, I'm driving around, and I never did. It worked out when I was single. My friends would pay for all the Ubers, but Anna was always ahead with the tech and things like that. And since she was, I never did anything to learn about it because I didn't have to. So it's
Does she have any family here stateside or New England?
Me and the boys, that's it.
Okay.
And then her sister is in Toronto. I told her sister you guys were coming, and that she's available to talk. Everyone's available to talk, whatever you want to ask.
Okay,
anytime.
perfect. Appreciate that. So she got a sister in Canada. Where's Anna's mother?
Okay, so Anna's mother's in Belgrade, and Anna was just there. Her mother has been sick. She was here, and then when she got back to Belgrade, so she went up. She was going to the hospital to do some work. So she and her sister were both there to support her mother at the end of November, beginning of December.
Okay, so not too long ago.
No.
And that's Serbia?
Yes, sorry, yes, Serbia.
Okay.
And Sally, her sister, called and let her mother know what was happening.
Okay.
So,
Any other siblings?
it's basically just the three of them. It's her and Sally and Malaka as her mother.
Okay. No brother or anything?
No.
Okay. Any like half siblings or anything on the father's side?
There's someone, his name is Milan. He is a cousin that they share land with, that they've been in a dispute with for, 30 years or 20 years.
Okay.
And that's been going back and forth for our entire marriage. They had a deal. It just fell apart. They went up to deal with that as well.
Okay.
Yes, but Sally and Anna do not get along with Milan at all.
Okay.
But he's
so that's kind of a tumultuous relationship.
Very.
And there was activity related to that as recent as early December?
Yeah, they had to go deal with the lawyers, and they had a contract that was signed 5 years ago, but they had to, cancel it.
Okay. And it's like a land dispute.
It's a huge land dispute, yeah.
Okay. Do you have any like best friends? I know you mentioned Jem, which was an old.
Jem is, there's a girl named Carrie Westbrook. Carrie Westbrook. She's a very good friend of Anna. They both worked at the Little Washington.
Okay.
Jem and Abdella called to say that she posted something about it's been 10 years or 13 years, and Anna would normally always say something. Okay, thank you.
Where did they work together?
Does he have relatives in the U.S. though?
I think Anna's one of Anna's first jobs when she was here.
Okay.
So Carrie, and then in town there's Abdella who works at the Melrose. He's been in touch with me several times today. There's a neighbor. She made good friends with the neighbor. I don't know who the neighbor
Ooh,
is.
yay for the American dream.
Is her name, but I don't have any numbers. And she hasn't spoken about it for several months, which is, I guess now I think about it, is odd. There's Alyssa Kirby. Peter Kirby lives in Marshfield, that's his brother, and Alyssa Kirby lives very nearby. When I called on Christmas Day, Alyssa was going to go over and check on the house.
Okay.
And that's an Anna call, and then Anna's like settled down. But Alyssa has, she's like, I can go over to the house. So I said, everyone's already been to the house. Alyssa, thank you.
And these are DC contacts?
These are, Alyssa is a DC contact, Abdella is a DC contact, Carrie's in DC. The gentleman who sold us our townhouse, William Fasto, is in DC. And his office is very close by. When I called him, he's like, oh, I just got back in from Idaho, but he immediately went over to take a look at the house. But
Okay.
Abdella did too.
Okay. Just so I have the dynamic right, you guys started in DC and you came up here?
Yeah.
The Boston opportunity, and then that kind of brought you back down? Or brought
No,
you
no,
back to DC?
she was in DC, I was always involved, like, you're going back, like, from the beginning of our relationship? Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah,
like,
sure.
how long, like, when did you guys meet and when did you guys get married?
Oh, right, yeah, so we met, years ago at a place called the Wheatley.
Okay.
And then she went to DC for a job, and I was traveling, and then I called her, in November 2011 to say, I'll be in DC, and then we met up, and we started going out again, and then in 2013, we lived together in DC, and then that wasn't working out. And
Yeah, but doesn't he have relatives somewhere?
Back after.
He could take the kids.
And then we were in Boston since then, and then she got this job in DC, and she said, I'm gonna go back to DC now as it works out. And I said, sure. And then but we were in Boston for
What?
7 years
Keeping it me.
together.
Good Gregory.
Do you have any, does she have any other phones, or is it just that one work phone, or like an Apple Watch, or anything?
She wanted to get an Apple Watch, and we were actually getting one. I don't know. I didn't see. She would have told me. We talked a lot.
I don't know if that's mom or not.
She was talking about getting another
What is
phone,
with
and
you,
Apple Watch,
Joey?
not, the Apple, the actual phone, but I was wondering if she had a second device as well.
Okay.
But she normally likes to just have one device. There have been times over our marriage when she's had two devices though.
Okay. Is it, Who's typically in charge of either the finances or the accounts?
Oh, Anna's very good at that. I like, we do it together, but when it comes to being on time paying the bills, she's much better, much better at that stuff, so.
Okay, great.
With me, like more, broader advisory, like let's do this, let's spend money on that.
Sure.
But no, she is an operations expert. That's my
Perfect. Logistics, that's her thing.
Perfect, yeah.
Okay. How about, if you don't mind me asking, like overall, like financially, is everything good and in order, or?
Yes.
Are there any stress factors, or,
Yes, yes, definitely, okay. Well, financially, in some ways, better than ever. This job was 3 times what she was making with Jack.
Oh, wow.
That's why, I think she did 315 this year.
Oh, wow.
So that was huge for us.
Sure.
And then, yeah, definitely. So that's why we decided to do the deal. But I've been having legal problems for many years now. It's one of the reasons why I couldn't leave, because I'm dealing with that now. And it was supposed to be done a long time ago, and it wasn't. So we've been really depressed about that. And there is restitution that I get to pay, but we have the money, and we're just waiting to get a final resolution. So the stress was being a part and not being the authors of our own lives. I couldn't move when we had to. And then our mothers have both of their health was difficult. So she had to go to Belgrade instead of coming here for 2 weeks.
Right.
And that was a hard hit. And then my mother, she needs a lot of assistance. She recently had cataracts, and she's had 3 cancer surgeries. So she's doing well. So thank you. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Those were everything okay, Thomas? Okay. This is the long time, but yes, the biggest stress was not being together. Before, when I was dealing with it, we were together. It was fine. It was one of those, we were a magnificent team. We were able to get through anything together. I was reading her a love note just the other day from 4 years ago about how we're able to blossom under such difficult circumstances. So,
Perfect.
Aww.
I appreciate you being so open.
yeah.
Is it okay if I ask about?
Please ask any questions you'd like.
The legal stress?
Absolutely, yeah. So, do you have a specific question, or would you like
Just a rundown of, what?
Yeah, I misrepresented a Warhol piece. You could read about it in the papers.
You were an attorney?
Am I?
What's your representation?
No, I
I don't even know what you do, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Well, we have a chocolate. So I had some art, and I lost money on it, and I misrepresented it to another person, a gallery in LA.
Okay.
And then the FBI got involved, and I was arrested, and that occurred in 2018. So I've been dealing with that, and then I went to sentencing in October 8th of 2021, and everything was going to be fine.
Yep.
But the bank had called for the bank check, saying that some of the money had been returned, but none of the money that was in the bank check, and then things were postponed.
Okay.
And then things continue to be postponed, and that's, so I'm kind of locked down here at the house. Part of my sentence was home confinement, but it's gone over the 12 months because of things have not been resolved yet.
Okay.
And that's why I've been able to be in Massachusetts with, I'm sorry, in DC with my wife, and she's been doing this. So, but we were just the other day there was possible resolution for the whole thing. But obviously,
Let it take their time.
that's what we're looking. But the prosecutor definitely. I will. Give me one moment. I'm going to make the note for you. But the prosecutor definitely was interested in more, and he saw a second opportunity at the Apple. So that's why things have taken a lot longer. And,
Okay.
but that's where we're at. And if there's any other information, you can I'll give you my attorney's number. She can also tell you about it.
Sure.
She can probably explain the law better than I can. But I was I acknowledge I was out of integrity, and I'm thank you. And I'm dealing with the whole family. Unfortunately, is dealing with it because of my actions.
So, we're not here to catch judgment.
No, it's, but I just, I know.
I was.
No, I want to
Get a whole picture.
I don't want to hide anything from you because if that could lead to finding my wife sooner, that's the most important thing.
Right, yeah, so I just.
But it's, I do want to acknowledge extremely,
It's a stress or anything like that.
but it's extremely embarrassing for me to talk about. But under these circumstances, it's worth it.
But we're not, again, we're not here to judge anyone.
What's embarrassing?
Is there any? But please, if you have any other questions, please ask me. This is don't hold back.
She obviously has a passport, right?
Yes, yes.
Is her passport still here?
No.
Is that something she normally carries with her for traveling, or?
Yeah, I would say yes, because what happened was she lost her ID at one point.
Yep.
And now she had to start carrying her passport.
Using that as a-
Yeah, but now she always carries her passport. She brought, William does not have
Carla?
a passport. Thomas and Brian do.
Okay.
And when I got nervous about,
Did he say his mom needed help with care? I missed that. I can't understand half of what he's saying.
ID. Also, my mother wanted to open an account for Thomas, and so the only way to identify him properly. So she brought those passports here.
I don't know.
Is she on any medications?
No, not that I know of. She just so for health, I'm out of shape, but she's in great shape. But she we had a bit of a cancer scare last year, but they biopsied and said it was fine
On her side?
on her side. And but she kept saying that she felt that she was pale recently, and I said it's because you haven't had a lot of rest. She'd be working hard and flying. Okay, and flying in, and then when she gets here, it's not restful. The kids are like, so I would give her some weekends off and say, hey, stay in DC. I'll take care of the kids. You've got to get because she's here the whole weekend and leaves early in the morning for work, and then now her work schedule had really, when she got back, the work schedule really got very tight because she'd taken 2 weeks off.
Okay.
So we really didn't have any time in the holidays or anniversary, so it's
Sure.
sad.
So, you're not aware of any medications, any other health issues or anything coming up? The one biopsy?
No, nothing. I mean, it's very unlikely that she would hide something from me.
Right.
We really talk about everything, and
Oh, okay.
no, I can't think of that there'd be anything else.
Okay. Luggage wise, she probably has a full set of clothes in DC.
Oh yeah, and most of my clothing's in DC too. So the idea, she thought it was going to take a month or two to get there. It was taking a lot.
I have no idea. I didn't know anything about the federal case until opening statements.
Having to buy new stuff.
Up here. Okay. So, I assume she travels light.
Very light.
Okay.
Yeah. So one time she just brought her purse.
Yep.
And then this time she brought up my heavier coat because I was getting cold. She said, "I'm gonna bring." So she brought her little carry-on.
Okay. And
But
you had a coat in DC, so she brought your coat up here?
Yeah, because I was wearing this light coat, and she said, "Come on, I'll bring it up." And I was like, "All right."
That makes sense, sure.
But that means she has to bring more luggage, so I felt bad. She's like, "Don't buy a new coat, don't get cold and get sick." So.
Right. So, you described the carry-on?
Absolutely, it's a Louis Vuitton carry-on.
It's like a big purse, like.
Well, no, it's the duffel bag, the Louis Vuitton duffel bag. Yeah. My mother actually, she wanted me to ask the Washington police if they saw that bag at the house, because if that bag was there, then she's definitely.
What art fraud?
She'd been to that house.
What color is it?
It's the
Dang.
the classic, yeah.
With all shapes.
Yeah,
on
with
the
the
first cap.
LV. I mean, I had to become what my wife is.
Yeah. Any like memory issues?
Yeah, she has a terrible memory. We make fun of it since we've been together. Yeah, she's like, I said that's why she's always happy. She doesn't remember anything.
But I mean, so she's not losing like big gaps of the day, like.
No.
Like hours go
No,
missing.
nothing
Just
like
classic,
like some
like what I had, like I forget what I had for lunch.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. I mean, she But that's the joke it always makes. Like, well, I don't know. I mean, she was always, that was always a thing. Or even, further back, I was the one who had the memory of everything.
Okay.
But I told her it was good I could repeat stories, so it would be a fresh marriage forever. It was good.
I like that. Any substance abuse?
No, actually, Anna basically drank nothing when she met me. She started to drink more,
Okay.
and then we both, with the kids and stuff, pretty much shut it down. But New Year's Eve we did have some champagne and stuff like that.
That's completely reasonable.
But no, Anna's totally straight out.
Which her life insurance would cover.
Do you have any sort of like family tracking on the apps? Like Find My iPhone,
I don't.
AirTags, anything like that?
So my mother just bought AirTags for us, and
Yeah.
Anna had picked it up on Saturday. And said, "Can I have one?" I said, "Yeah, one of these is for you."
Sure.
But because things went so, those are her sunglasses. What did you find them? You forgot them. Okay. All right. But because she left early, we were going to do a lot of work for the new year and stuff, and then she was going to be having an AirTag with her.
Okay.
My mother was like, "I'm going to have an AirTag."
Yeah.
But they're right on my desk, all wrapped up and everything. And she's the one that like launches all of it. She's the one who puts stuff together. So
Yeah.
so, and I would always just say, "Oh, okay, we'll wait till you come back." I was always waiting for her to come save us. Four guys over here.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, I should take these. No.
It does look expensive.
Yeah, your mother's gonna get upset. Okay. Don't break them. Okay. All right. Nobody else is-
Where did he find those?
I don't know. They must have been over here or something like that. I didn't notice. I didn't notice. I just noticed that. Okay. No swearing. Sorry for that. I thought he was saying truck for a while.
I heard truck.
Uh,
I'm on his side, I heard truck.
okay. Good. Thanks.
Oh my God!
Bring the big duffel bag back with her. Have you seen it yet?
I know we haven't. So when you asked me what she might be wearing, her black coat, but it's a small coat.
Yep.
The hunter boots were gone, blue and gray. The duffel bag, and then the purse that you brought,
Okay.
a black purse, probably.
Okay. Do you have any cameras at the house?
Not
Like,
this one. Oh,
Ring doorbell, I know it's a rental, but.
yeah, no, we don't have any here.
Is the landlord or property owner or anything?
I don't think so. I haven't called Peter yet. I've been calling a lot of people, but haven't been ready to go to the next level again. But I don't think he's got. He might have something down by the garage. He might have some stuff down there.
Sure.
But I don't think he's got anything on his. I haven't seen any ring doorbells anywhere.
Okay.
He's hoping nobody had Ring doorbells.
Any cameras at the townhouse in DC?
There's she installed. We had the door. What's the not ring, but what's the other one? Not or.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them now.
Ring, Blink,
Net.
Arlo, Safe.
What's the one that has a thermostat too?
Nest.
The Nest. I think it's a Nest camera. But that would be on her phone. But when we were, I'm going to one moment. When we were at Jerusalem Road, we had three, so I'd be out playing with the boys, and she'd call or she'd talk through it and stuff like that. So she's very good with that. Yeah. But no, I just not here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Any other questions?
What is the dinging noise coming from? Am I imagining that, or something dinging?
No, I appreciate. No, I appreciate it. I know it's 7:30, and you guys are still here, so thank you for that.
Do you mind if I take a look at the camera roll? Maybe if she took your, if she took.
The photos I have on this.
Yeah.
Sounds like a phone notification.
Just if there's something that jumps out, you know what I mean?
Sometimes the kids get it, so sorry.
No,
But that's everything there. You can take a look. There's probably 1,000 photos.
I got Donald's bottom half done. I lost his head, so I gotta make another one.
Glasses back, please. What glasses?
Or it could be on the tape. Somebody in the house's phone was
Okay.
possible.
You said it'd be okay if I
Which
went
is
around.
driving me nuts.
Yep. That's fine. That happened.
Yeah. I always make the joke, I'm gonna make it extra happy for you guys. Yes, Thomas. Okay, well, please tell him not to, that's not. William, please. Oh, no, I would like to say, I don't know where to learn that from, but I'm pretty sure it was me. You're taking that, that's your brother's, you're gonna get very upset. Thank you. All right, can I have the glasses back, please? All right.
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of errands did you run on?
Yeah, on
was it
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, basically, I just went down to see a friend of mine, Paul Fleming. We hadn't seen each other in a while.
Yep.
And then, brought back some of the stuff for New Year's meal and things like that. And trying to think what else.
Where was that? Where did you meet him?
It was in Boston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in Kimball Square. What? Oh, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you, anytime you want to go through this, feel free.
Sure.
It's so weird, like my whole life is like on this thing. I'd be like, here's my life, go enjoy it.
Yeah, I just looked, I saw the photos from the DC area.
Oh, great.
Yeah, of your wife and the boys.
Oh, okay, yeah, this thing, yeah.
And that was Friday.
I'm trying to think, I also went to, I had some energy event stuff to do, so that was the other thing.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Do you mind if we just do a walkthrough of the house, just see if anything jumps out to us?
Yeah.
So we have a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
let's do it.
So, is there anything else? Because I'll shut this off. Is there anything else that,
I think that's it, that's all, yeah.
Greg, do you have any ideas? I know we covered a lot. I really appreciate you going.
Yeah, no, of course, absolutely.
Sometimes every little thing helps, you know?
I believe that, I honestly believe that.
You know, let's move the ball on and see if we can track something down, so.
Right.
All right, it is, 7:31, I'm shutting off the recorder.
Sergeant, I have a few questions about that interview. How old were the children at this point in time?
2, 4, and 6.
And the oldest child, what was produced during that interview?
An iPad.
An iPad. And when it's heard the defendant saying 121212, what is going on at that point in time?
The child needed help unlocking the iPad, and the defendant assisted in punching in the code to unlock it.
Now, in addition, at some point in time, someone produced glasses. Who did that?
The middle child.
And directing your attention to what's been marked as Exhibit 6, file number 7214. Ms. Gilman, if we could have that. Sergeant, did you see the glasses there in that photograph?
Yes, there were ladies' glasses there in the black case underneath the mirror on the counter.
Now, after or during the interview, he showed you his phone. What did you look at on his phone?
Text message thread between him and Anna, and the camera roll.
And what did you see as far as travel arrangements?
There were screenshots of the JetBlue app that Anna had sent him for the flight from DC to Boston.
So at the end of the interview, there's mention of doing a walkthrough. What did you do next?
We concluded the interview and began the walkthrough.
Okay, and so what is a walkthrough, sir?
We just went throughout the house to see if anything jumped out or seemed important.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 8, 7115? So, sir, what part of the house was this?
This is the front of the house it's not the front door, but it's like the primary access door to the right.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 9, 7120? Now, where are you in the house at this point in time, sir?
If you go into that door from the last photo, You're in a hallway. If you look left in that hallway, this is the entryway into the kitchen and dining room, that open floor concept.
And Ms. Gilman, if we can have Exhibit 10, 7122. Where is this in the house, sir?
If you go in from that outside door and you look straight from the hallway, that's the first floor bathroom.
And what is inside the first floor bathroom besides the bathroom?
Washer and dryer.
Ms. Gilman, Exhibit 11, please, 7169. And I take it this is the washer and dryer inside that first floor bathroom?
Correct.
Could we have Exhibit 12, file number 7137? Where is this, sir?
If you come in that same door, that hallway, if you look right, there's a sunken-in family room.
And what is at the back end of this sunken-in family room?
There's a staircase that leads up to a single bedroom.
Could we have Exhibit 13, 7138? Where is this, sir, in the house?
Those are the stairs leading up to that single bedroom.
Exhibit 14, please, 7140. Now, where is this in the house, sir?
This is that single bedroom on that right side of the house.
What access does this bedroom have to the rest of the house besides going down those stairs to the sunken living room?
None.
Could we have the next exhibit, which is Exhibit 15, 7141? And where is this, sir?
This is the same bedroom.
Could we have Exhibit 16, 7152? What part of the home is this?
This is that sunken-in living room. This is the closet door beneath the staircase leading up to that single bedroom.
Did you have the opportunity to look inside that closet?
I did.
Could we have the next exhibit, Exhibit 17, 7153? Is this how the closet appeared, sir?
Yes.
Now, can we have Exhibit 18, 7165? Where is this, sir?
This is the hallway as you enter through that door. So that door would be to the left, bathrooms to the right, and then the kitchen dining room straight.
Could we have Exhibit 20, file number 7235? Now, what part of the home is this?
That door on the left is the front door. So this is, if you're looking away from the dining room, you'd be looking at the stairs upstairs to the main part of the house and the living room straight ahead.
What's at the far end of the living room?
A fireplace and a TV.
And if we could have the next exhibit 21, 7236. Where is this, sir?
That's a close-up look of the living room with the TV, the fireplace, and the bureau.
Exhibit 22, please, Ms. Gilman, file number 7237. What part of the home is this now?
Still right in the living room. It's the stairs leading upstairs to the main part of the second floor of the house, a view into the kitchen and the backyard.
Now, are there any other rooms by the kitchen?
To the left edge of this frame is a small office.
Could we have Exhibit 23, file number 7246? What is this, sir?
That's the small office.
And could we have Exhibit 24, 7288? Where is this in the home, sir?
That is the second floor bathroom.
And can you describe the second floor layout for us?
If you walk up the stairs to the second floor, the front door would be to your back. You enter a hallway. Straight ahead
Why do we need to know all
is
this?
a second floor bathroom. There's 2 bedrooms to your left, and there's a primary bedroom to the right that also has a bathroom in it.
Could we have Exhibit 25, which is file number 7298? What are we looking at now, sir?
If you were in that hallway coming up the stairs, if you look left, that would be the doors to the 2 bedrooms on your left.
Could we have Exhibit 26, file number 7301? Which room is this, sir?
This is the front left bedroom on the second floor.
And who is residing in this bedroom?
The defendant.
And, sir, what is in the drawer next to the bed?
Some sheetrock or drywall from the ceiling.
Could we have the next exhibit 28? Well, actually, I'm sorry, 7301. Could we have 27, 7302? And sir, where is this?
That same bedroom.
And then could we have exhibit 28, 7309? And what orientation is this, sir?
This is looking at the bedroom door from that same bedroom.
Your Honor, we would object for the reasons stated before.
Excuse me?
We object for the reasons stated before.
Thank you. Preserved.
And then I'd like to have exhibit 29, if I may, Ms. Gilman, 7319. What is this, sir?
A hole in the ceiling in that bedroom.
Now, what is above the ceiling in that home?
An attic.
Did you go into the attic that night?
No.
Now, can we have exhibit 30, 7320? What room is this, sir?
This is the second bedroom to the left in that hallway.
And could we have exhibit 31, 7321? What is this, sir?
That same bedroom.
And who was residing in this bedroom?
The middle child.
And who was residing in the bedroom that was by the sunken living room?
The eldest child.
Could we have exhibit 32, 7259? What room is this, sir?
This is the bedroom to the right, the primary bedroom.
And with this primary bedroom, what was it attached to as far as a bathroom?
There was an attached bathroom.
Did she say
We have exhibit
reserve?
33,
What does that
7269.
mean?
What is this, sir?
That's the attached bathroom.
And could we have exhibit 34, 7335? Bless you. What's this, sir?
If you're standing in the kitchen, looking towards the front of the house, this is the basement door.
And what was on this door as far as child safety locks?
Up top was like a child safety device.
Could we have exhibit 35, 7336? Where is this, sir?
That's the doorway from the last photo looking down into the basement.
Could we have exhibit 36, 7340? Where is this, sir?
If you go down those steps and you look right, this is the view of the basement.
And could we have exhibit 37, which is file 7343? And where is this?
If you go down those steps and look left, this is the view of the basement.
And then could we have exhibit 38, 7557? Where is this?
Those are the basement steps.
Now, what access did the basement have as far as to the outside of the home?
If you come down those stairs and look right, there's a outside door that leads to the left side of the house.
Did you have the opportunity on January 4th to do any examination outside the home?
Yes.
Could we have exhibit 39, file number 7077? Where's this in relation to the house, sir?
This is the left side of the house, so that basement door would be just off frame to the right.
And there's a fence there, sir. What's the fence around?
That's leading into the backyard and the in-ground pool.
Could we have exhibit 40, 7080? And what is this?
View looking into the backyard.
What condition was the pool that night when you were there on January 4th?
It was full of water. The water was dark green and cloudy. It was unseasonably warm that night, and so no ice or anything. And there was no pool cover on it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
There's no pool cover on it.
Could we have exhibit 41, 7084? Now, where are we in the house, sir?
You're within the fenced-in portion of the backyard, looking at the pool.
And how is the pool different in this photograph than when you were there that night?
It's drained in this photo.
What is, sir, in the left-hand corner, what is that part of the house?
Shed.
Could we have exhibit 42, 7091? And where is this?
This is in the backyard, a view of the back of the house.
And Exhibit 437092. What about this part, sir?
This is the back left corner, if you're looking at the back of the house.
And, sir, did you have the opportunity to look at that shed as well?
I did.
Could we have Exhibit 447097? And did you go inside the shed?
I did.
Could we have Exhibit 457390? And where's this, sir?
That's a view inside the shed.
Got a siren going by, sir, and we'll let it go.
Let it go, let it go.
Sir, did you find anything that night when you were there on January 4th?
No.
And did you have the opportunity to look at any vehicles that night while you were there on January 4th?
Yes.
What vehicle did you look at?
Volvo XC90.
Could we have Exhibit 46, file number 7057? What is this, sir?
That's the Volvo XC90.
And, sir, if I'm going to just ask if you can keep your voice up, did you have the opportunity to look inside the Volvo?
I did.
What did you see inside the Volvo that night?
I noticed the trunk portion of the SUV was lined with plastic sheeting that was folded.
And anything else inside the Volvo?
In the trunk, I noticed like a maple seedling, like it looks like a V they spin when they fall from the trees.
Now, how long did it take to do this walk around?
About 30 minutes.
And what did you do after the walk around?
I returned to the Cohasset Police Station.
And what did you do when you went back to the station?
Furthered the investigation.
How so?
I checked for any international flights, if Anna had taken any, by putting a flag on her passport.
Yes, sir.
I reached out to the Metro DC Police to do a walkthrough of the townhouse down in DC.
Yes, sir.
And I called Anna's sister.
Now, after doing those things, did you ever have the opportunity to return back to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
Yes, that evening.
And why did you return back to the home?
I brought the fire department back to the house to investigate the pool.
And so, how did you do that, sir?
The fire department brought high-powered floodlights and a pike pole to like scrape the pool to see if there's anything inside.
And what did you see happen when they did that?
They found a pool skimmer at the bottom, and then they used that pool skimmer, because it was wider than the pike pole, to scrape the bottom of the pool.
And was anything recovered?
No.
And about how long was this? Did it take to do this checking of the pool?
15 minutes.
And after you did that, what did you do next?
Returned back to the police station.
But what time do you think you got back to the police station?
10:30 or so.
And so, did you do anything further on January 4th?
Would have reviewed the notes I had thus far.
Okay. And then, what's next in the investigation?
I spoke to Jem the following day.
Okay. So now we're on January 5th.
Yes.
Okay. So walk us through January 5th as far as what you did as the investigation to find Anna Walshe.
I began contacting friends and family, gathering more background information. I created a missing persons bulletin, and I disseminated that to the department internally. I believe it went out on our social media. I sent it to the Mass Fusion Center, the Mass Crime Net, and the South Shore Detectives as a shared distribution list.
And may we have Exhibit 47, the poster? So, sir, this is the poster that you circulated?
Yes.
And I want to ask you about some of the places that you circulated it. You can take it down now, Ms. Gilman. Thank you. You said Fusion? What's that?
The Massachusetts Fusion Center It's a information sharing system for law enforcement.
And besides them, what other organizations did you share it with?
A mass crime net. It's a distribution list for detectives and investigators.
And then was there a third?
South Shore detectives.
And so I take it that's just the police departments in the South Shore.
Correct.
So you've circulated the flyer. It's January 5th. Now what are you doing?
I began checking for financial records to see if there were any recent transactions. The phone was pinged the night prior, and we were reviewing the phone location data that day.
Okay. And so you're reviewing phone location data. And in addition to that, do you do anything as far as searching the area that day?
A canine track was conducted in, or excuse me, a area search with a canine was conducted in the house.
Can you tell
in
us
the rear of the house, excuse me.
the rear of the house? All right. So what's the rear of the house like at 516?
It's wooded. If you go through the woods straight back behind the house, you'll reach another neighborhood.
About how far is it between the two neighborhoods?
Less than a quarter mile.
And how is this area search conducted? You said a canine, but what's that entail?
A canine handler and the dog will do a scent search to see if there's any odors that jump out to the dog, if there's any indication.
Who is the canine handler that worked on this?
Sergeant Reardon,
And what department is he affiliated with?
Cohasset.
And so was anyone else involved in the search at this point in time?
No.
So after the canine search is done, what else do you do on this case on the 5th?
We checked for any Amtrak travel. We had troopers from that are assigned to the Logan Airport check each ticketing agency to see if there's any travel for Anna.
And what did you do as far as checking in with any cab companies or anything like that?
I began calling cab companies from Quincy to Plymouth.
Any other ride shares that you checked on?
We checked with Lyft and Uber to see if there were any pickups in that area of town.
And besides checking with the troopers at Logan Airport and cab companies and ride shares, what else did you do on the 5th?
We requested additional resources.
And who did you request for additional resources from?
My supervisor reached out to the Norfolk County, the troopers assigned to the Norfolk County DA's office.
And did you have the opportunity to meet with any of those troopers on January 5th?
Yes,
About what time did you meet with the troopers on January 5th?
about 5 p.m.
Where did you meet with them?
Cohasset Police Station.
And who did you meet with?
Trooper Chico and Sergeant Buchanan.
And what did you do when you met with the troopers on the 5th?
I brought him up to speed on the investigation thus far, and we listened to the audio recording of that first interview.
After that was done, did you do anything else besides just reviewing the recording with the troopers?
We went to the house,
About what time do you think you got to the house?
8:30.
And who went to the house?
Myself, Sergeant Hunt, Detective Lieutenant Lopes, Trooper Chico, and Sergeant Buchanan.
Who is Sergeant Hunt?
Cohasset Police Sergeant. He's now retired.
And who is Detective Lieutenant Lopes?
My supervisor.
And the other two were the state troopers.
Correct.
And so who was present at 516 CJC when you arrived on January 5th?
The nanny, Robin Howe, was leaving as we arrived. Present was the defendant, his mother, and his 3 children.
And so what did you do that night as far as dealing with the defendant?
I conducted a second interview.
And who participated with the second interview?
Myself, Sergeant Hunt, Trooper DeChico, and the defendant.
And where did this interview take place?
That same dining room table.
Where was Detective Lieutenant Lopes and Sergeant Buchanan?
Did you record
We were in
it?
the living room on the other side of the staircase.
And who was with them?
The defendant's mother.
And what access did people have to, what access did you have to the living room?
It's an open floor concept, so the only barrier in between those 2 rooms was the staircase.
Now,
Because
Your Honor, may I
MSP
have a
doesn't
minute?
record their interviews.
Thank you, Your Honor. That interview on January 5th, was it recorded?
It was.
Oh, no,
Did
wait.
that interview?
I have.
And does it fairly and accurately depict the interview you had with the defendant that
Only when they're covering stuff up.
Yes.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth will seek to enter a drive with the interview from January 5th as the next exhibit, which would be, I believe, 54.
Subject to the earlier objections, any new objections? It'll be marked and admitted as Exhibit 54.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have it as 50.
Thank you.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may we play Exhibit 54?
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, could you play the interview from January 5th? Thank you.
Why does that name sound familiar? Was she worked in the Karen Reed trial?
It is 1956, January 5th, 2023. We were at your home. We're at 516 CJC Highway. My name is Harrison Schmidt. I'm a detective with Cohasset Police. Present is Trooper
Chico, I'm assigned to the Northwest Police Office. My name is spelled B-I-C-I-C.
and Sergeant Garrett is Cohasset.
Brian.
Beautiful. So I'd just like to circle back to I'd like to circle back to last weekend. So could you start me with in the morning? So when you woke up, 'cause I remember when we talked, I was just going back to my notes and taking everything out. When we talked, I had up until and 11. Could you fill me in starting from when you woke up on the 1st, so Sunday morning?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Baby Brian normally gets out of the crib at 7 or around 7-ish, so when it's about light, and then I get up, and then sorry.
No.
And then I get the day going. I'm supposed to change William and Brian in the morning.
Yep.
I didn't. I'm 50-50 on 100%. So we went down and I made French toast for one of the days off. I made French toast and so I made French toast. I was expecting to see my mother later. So the kids and I
Whose
played,
name?
all the gifts and things that we had at the house. And then Robin showed up at 2. And then I had to go out to get we're low on orange juice and milk and things like that. So I went to Shaw's, and then I went to then I got off a good bit late.
Oh, Gilman.
And then we went Whole Foods and CVS, and then I came back. And that was pretty much the whole day.
Okay.
They keep asking Miss Gilman to put the exhibits up. Forgot the word.
Woken you at about 6 when she was leaving?
She kisses me goodbye normally. Yeah.
So you did wake up and you did.
I knew, yeah. I didn't get out of bed or anything. She just said bye and I went back to sleep.
Okay, no other conversation?
That's pretty much what I had to go to. We've gotten into a routine. I used to get up with her, and then I would be too grown up for the kids. So.
Okay, and then, but your son also saw Anna before you left?
Yeah, when I came down, I said.
Doesn't sound familiar. I don't know why it sounds familiar to me.
So this is like, you got about 7 years old?
Yeah, I came down at 7. He was on the couch playing with his iPad.
Okay.
I don't know. Sounds familiar.
Sorry, to interrupt.
No, it's
To
yeah.
clear that, because it wasn't kind of completely.
No, I understand nothing's clear anymore.
Can you tell me what she was wearing? Like when
when she left, if you remember. I'm sorry, I really, she never dressed on her, her underwear. I guess the stuff is down here. Sometimes she keeps it in her, sometimes, because she's getting herself ready in her underwear normally. So, but I know she always, she's got a black dress normally or something on. That's her standby, or she has one of the flowery dresses, but I don't know what she was wearing that day. I do know that she wore, she had to have worn her short black coat, because I was listening, she wore her hunters, which is odd. Normally she wears fancier shoes to leave.
And what color are the boots again?
They're blue gray or something like that.
And the pocketbooks, stuff like that?
Yeah, she had her Louis Vuitton bag,
Yeah.
and then she had her black bag. I think it was Prada this one, but she has like 5 or 6 Prada bags.
You're confident that she took that with her, like that hasn't turned up in the
No,
house here?
the only thing that turned up was when we were here last night. Her Tiffany sunglasses.
Sunglasses?
Yeah, she did not take that.
And were you able to track down where she left those, or where,
Where she left her sunglasses?
it was Thomas that found them, right? No, William?
I was playing with them. Maybe Thomas found them. I think they were right there, because they go in there and start like taking stuff. So.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry if I sidetracked. Has anything like this ever happened before?
No, it's totally, this is not a normal thing at all, and the reason why I didn't call sooner, one was that when she leaves, if she was coming here and she was 5 minutes late, I would freak out, and the week before, she was late for Christmas, because she, as I said, she worked late for December 24th.
Yeah.
So I was like, are you coming? You're missing. I emailed her, and I called people, and she's like, hey, I missed the flight. I was canceled. I'm driving up. So I didn't have the phone, and she wasn't coming, so I held off. And then I should have called work on Tuesday, not Wednesday. I don't know.
Go ahead. Sorry. So going back to Sunday, you didn't have your phone for the duration of Sunday, is that correct?
I didn't have the phone was with I think it was in bed the whole time.
Okay.
Because Thomas found it. Robin took the name you just met was up there, and then Thomas, I guess they went to the garbage to look for it, because I guess they brought his phone on his phone away a while ago in the garbage. So they were out in the garbage, and then they came back, and Thomas went upstairs to play with William, and then brought the phone down. And I think Robin was there, so, and then he got a drone for my mother, so. And that's when I called, I got my phone back, and that's when things, I got, normally now, you can call, it's been a while, you've had some rest, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
So I didn't just give you the exact what was going on, but the emergency, normally, she updates me, she's had several emergencies at the FBI storm crossing at one point, that was her building. Huge leaks at Mazda, or TJ Maxx, was gonna, leave, and then a disgruntled, resident that she was dealing with. So anytime she had one of these big, like, she debriefs me on it pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay. So then, when was it that you got your phone back?
I called on at like 2:30 or 3:30 on Monday.
Monday, okay.
So it was a Monday.
You said what, 2:30 to 3:30?
So yeah, I think it was 2:33, because at the moment I got it, I called.
2:33.
Yeah.
Perfect, okay. So then, going back to the morning of the first, so you do French toast, you run some errands, OJ and milk.
Yeah, that was later. That was later in the afternoon. And during the morning, it was we had the French toast, and then we played with a bunch of toys from Christmas. They were going to watch a movie, things like that. So,
Okay. So then, you went to see your mother?
yeah, after so I left around here 4.
Did you take the boys and go?
No. They stayed with Robin.
They stayed with
Yeah,
Robin,
they
okay.
stayed with Robin. but I was considering, if Ivana was here, maybe we were all gone, and I was gone, and some of the, things changed, switched up, but we had Robin, scheduled for.
Okay. So, what vehicle did you drive up?
Did I drive up?
Yeah.
No, I drove.
Oh, okay. Where's that now, if you don't mind me asking?
It's, so a bunch of people have come to, visit and support, so I couldn't get in, so I parked right out there, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then, so, the pickup truck, whose is that then?
That belongs to, Robin.
Okay, and then so.
That belongs to my mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we have other cars in here, and then the press, so.
Okay, very good. So how long were you visiting with your mom?
A few hours.
And, what, is she, it's the Swampscott?
Yes, yeah.
Excuse me, address?
330 Paradise Road. What was that? Well, I'm doing something.
Okay.
So, sounds like Anna had a really stressful job.
That's a trend, some people call them.
Yeah, I bet. Sounds like Anna had a really stressful job.
So, just to be clear, her experience was that she was over her head, as I said, it was huge. It was a job of her dreams, and she got like 2 or 3 times the money that she had been making before. And she was worried to a certain extent that she was over her head, and she kept talking about that. And then being away from the family was very difficult too.
Yeah, that's a lot. And what did she do prior to this job?
She worked for Jen, who was here on New Year's Eve. Yeah, she was his, he runs a real estate company, and she was the operations officer.
So it's just a similar job, just larger scale, more money.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a way larger scale, multi-billion-dollar company, and, it was a lot. It was overwhelming, unbelievably overwhelming.
I know that in the previous.
They have smart bulbs too, Judy.
Last night, you mentioned that, the distance, the issues that you're having on your end.
Yeah.
This job, your cost.
Then you can say, Alexa, turn off the lights,
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna ask,
or whatever home AI system you may choose to use. They're really cool.
Never said that. She talked to Jen for an hour and a half. I know you spoke to her about how the year has been and how she was really unhappy about the trial and things taking, or the court case taking longer, us not being able to be together. And she kept saying I could come back, and then she's like, well, I can only have 100,000, a smaller job. And I was like, no, we've made these huge sacrifices for you to be there at the townhouse. We'll stick it out. She was going to see a psychiatrist, was the first time she brought that up. But I spoke to Jim about it today. He spoke to me 8 times today, and he basically said, hey, it's fine. It doesn't mean there was any problem. She had a problem, and she should do it in a healthy way. So that was his experience.
Okay, so no past doctorate, no past attempts on it?
No past attempts, no.
And is the marriage okay? Have you guys talked about separating or?
No, not at all. I mean, we've been separate, so it's been sad for us. We love spending time together, and think about when the kids grow up, more time we have together. So, during the pandemic, with all the family time best for us, it just wasn't like that. We really enjoyed each other's company. So, a friend, my mother was like, what do you think about Anna? And we're good groups of friends. It looks like they really enjoy each other's company. I keep bringing that up to her all the time, but that wasn't. That wasn't the problem. Also, I mean, it was just the idea of separation for her who comes from like a family that her mother and father were for 47 years, and for me, coming from a divorce family, not enjoying that was like it just really wasn't. I mean, I don't think so. At least for me, that was my experience. And maybe she wasn't telling us something. What was that possible? But for me, I just couldn't imagine it.
You mentioned that in the past, years ago, you lived together in DC, right?
We lived together, yeah, we're here.
And then there was some problems, like I think 2013, and you came here.
Yeah, I came back to Boston. I was like, DC's not working, and then she, a few months later, she basically said, okay, she came to Boston.
So that was just in like DC?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I guess, no, that's not a fair statement. It wasn't that I didn't like DC, it's just, it was, maybe I wasn't ready for such a serious relationship at the time, and I was uncomfortable in a new town. So obviously there was more layers to it. And I wasn't used to what a relationship meant. I was just a solo operator, and now I wasn't, and that was difficult for me. I struggled with that. So I think that was it. And then Anna realized that it might be that she wanted to be with me, and then that being in Boston was fine. So and then things worked
Ms.
out
Gilman,
really
could you
well.
pause, please? And for the record, Your Honor, this has been paused at 14 minutes and 33 seconds on the media player.
All right, great. We're going to take our lunch break, and we'll be back at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much.
All right, please. Close your notebooks. Lunch yet?
Did she say 2 o'clock?
You may step in, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anybody need anything before the lunch break?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
There was I thought I dipped it. I'm backwards. There we go. Um ah, stop it. There was a video on America's Funniest Videos once. This somebody was in the shower in a house, and there was someone in another room, and they were sitting in front of a Alexa device, and they were real quiet. They were going, Alexa, turn off the lights. And you could hear the shower running in the other room. And the person from the other room would yell, Alexa, turn the lights on. And the lights would go back on. And then the guy sitting at the Alexa would go, Alexa, turn the lights off. And the lights would go off. And then you hear the guy in the shower, Alexa, turn the lights on. And the guy sitting there, Alexa, turn the lights off. It was so funny. The guy he could not figure out why the lights kept going on. Alexa, turn the lights on. It was so funny. That's cool. I bought, what did I buy? It was either a smart bulb or a smart plug, and I couldn't get it to work right with the Alexa, so I just was like, forget it. I'll just be old school. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Okay, guys, be back at 2 o'clock. I will get the afternoon set up. I wish we could hear this recording better, but I mean, that's the way it always is, right? Um, It would be nice to be able to hear it better. Especially the one with the why can't I say that state? Massachusetts state troopers. It would be so much better if we could hear it. It's like I'm lost right now. I don't even know what they're talking to them about now. I mean, yeah, I know what, but I don't like know specifics because it's so hard to hear. At least when you can look at a video of them asking questions, you at least get body language and stuff, so you get more of an idea. Even if you can't hear what they're saying, you can see their reaction to what they're talking about. Okay, guys, 2 o'clock. I will see you back then. Have a great lunch. So that will be 3 o'clock Marty's? No, 1 o'clock Marty's time, right? 1 o'clock Marty's time? I don't know. 2 o'clock Eastern. Okay. I'll see you then, guys. Bye.